Okay. Hello, VOD watchers. I'm Xenon Lemon, and this is Call of Cthulhu Library Game. Today, I'm joined by my intrepid investigators: Shinobi Dragon Master playing Mason Gore, Uta Frost playing Amelia, and Amelia Sanders and Psycho in turn playing Jebediah Gay.
I like penis.
Today we're going to do some side quests, and that's the plan for today. If you like what you see, drop a follow. If you really like what you see, subscribe. If you want to stay up to date for when we go live, check out our social medias for the going live message. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you, current and future Psycho.
Cringe.
Okay.
Oh god. There's so many I could go with.
Yeah, that's why I just said you can pick it up at your own leisure and like decide something eventually. It doesn't have to come up yet. But so I'll post.
No, I'm sending you this because I decided to look it up based off of what she is. There's so many.
Okay.
But continue.
Yeah. So you guys are still like just mentally recovering from what happened on Crow Island. But you're all mostly over it now. Maybe a few mental scars. You guys might have a like slight fear of crows.
Hey, don't
or
be
being
calling
swallowed.
me out like that.
I mean, Mason got swallowed by a giant crow last time.
What?
Yeah, but I also fucked up that crow.
Oh yeah, because I didn't go into that part here.
After
So.
like shooting at it 5 or 6 times and missing.
Shut up.
So, Dr. Hugor, he found out that the source of like the respawns is a clockwork heart within the like wooden dolls, and it's like a container that holds your soul when you respawn. And so he tried placing that into within the White Hill at the spawn was a giant the body of a dead giant, and so he tried to put one of the clockwork hearts in there and tried to possess it, and he became like a twitching dead corpse. So I may or may not have incited Psycho to pull the clockwork heart out and put it back into the wooden doll, in which case the good doctor he bled out because that wooden doll had a huge hole in its chest. And then Mason picked a fight with the princess. She almost got him, but Jebediah saved him with his gun. They burnt down a church, and then a giant crow hatched out of the giant's head, killed Jebediah and swallowed Mason. But Mason had the last laugh, for he has a Tommy gun, and the Tommy gun finally went off, and he shot himself and the bird out of the sky, dying from fall damage and suffocation. And that's what happened last time.
I sent you everything that...
Okay. You think you want?
I no, like
Oh.
it's multiple ones that pertain to what she is.
Yeah.
And it's more of me trying to pick which one I want.
Yeah, just pick one like small one. Because like I said, the other guys have like just like small things.
I understand that, but which one is that?
Well, like the killer intent would give you like advantage at like
Oh.
like not persuasion, but the other one, intimidation. Or
I'll read through them. I think I know which one I'm mainly leaning out.
Yeah. Just whichever like small little one you think you want. Okay. But so you guys have been given more downtime in the library. Or this is what happens during this. Today's what's gonna be like during the downtime between Crow Island and the next mission, which I haven't like dubbed yet, but is gonna involve a submarine.
Oh.
Man, there are so many movies and books in here.
Yeah, you guys have been just like reading books, watching movies. You guys discover that there is indeed a movie theater on one of the floors accessible via the elevator. In which case you guys watched the documentary on Jebediah Gay, the missing star of a generation.
I could have been the best. I could have been the best actor in the world. And then some asshole named Reagan took it.
Jesus Christ.
And then I guess if Amelia wanted to, she would have been able to have watched the movie with them.
Sure.
To have learned about Jebediah's history.
Do I really care about it though?
I mean, it was the movie that they put on in the theater. I feel like Jebediah watched it a couple times, so maybe you would have watched it one of the times.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then, one day you guys, while you're hanging out in your lounge room, a message appears in front of you, and it says, optional missions available. Do you accept, yes or no?
I shoot at the yes.
I wave my gun and put the barrel to yes.
A pop-up pops up real quick and says, you guys know you can use your fingers, yeah? Or just, like, verbally respond?
She shoots at the projection again.
One day I'll make these bulletproof. I have the technology. It'll rebound and hit you.
Shoot at the last projection. And when that day comes, I'll shoot myself.
How does Amelia respond to the message?
What was the message?
Optional quest optional mission available.
Sure.
Okay.
Ah, shit, I hit the movie screen.
Prestidigitation on the movie screen.
You just learned about prestidigitation last week, Shino.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I bet I knew that. I had D&D in my time.
Did you? Are you from, what, the 80s?
Been a long time, a lot longer than that.
Was it the
What the hell
60s?
is D&D?
When did D&D come out?
1985.
80?
1974.
74, is that like the old?
Dungeons
Dungeons
I'm
and
thinking of
Dragons,
second
commonly
edition.
abbreviated as D&D or D&D, is a fantasy tabletop, blah, blah, blah. Originally designed by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson. It was first published in 1974 by Tactical Study Rules Incorporation.
Mm.
So yes.
Title card.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about second edition. My bad.
No, we're talking about very first edition.
No, I was thinking of second edition.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you all say yes, it says loading, or loading additional content, and then a new prompt or a new mission screen pops up.
You don't have to pay for this DLC.
No, this DLC pays you.
Okay.
Loading additional content.
What the hell is this symbol on the top that says EA?
Oh, it's a actually I wouldn't even know.
Mason-
Later, do you know?
I don't know. It says EA, and then it just flickers between like a devil symbol and then back to the symbol.
Yeah, it seems to be very controversial.
Additional content loaded. Or book retrieval quest available, and then it's got three options. There's the time machine, Cuddles Meat Pies, and what's the last one? The Hounds of Baskerville are the 3 books available to be retrieved. These 3 books each are worth 1/3 a coin per participant.
Okay.
Is the reward available for these 3 side quests.
Wait, that means we're one step closer to get a coin, and that means we win.
Or like each
We
side
already
quest is
have a
1/3.
coin.
Yeah. Oh, Amelia also received a coin from like as a consolation for being pulled out of the previous mission.
What? Wait,
So,
am I the only one here who didn't get a coin?
You got a coin, yeah. You got a coin.
You had a coin.
Everybody who participated in the Crow Island got a coin.
Oh. Where do we put coins?
Wherever you want to like decide to note it down. So now you got a coin, and then what is it though? But though Dr. Hugo got 2 because he did the healing question side quest in the other one. Which I don't know if Amelia read about the healing question of Arthurian lore or not. That might have been deeper than just Brand the Blessed. Okay, but so the instructions for doing the book retrieval, it says report to the elevator for transfer to the to be taken to the transfer room. So I'll say it.
I am not moving my token.
Yeah, we're not moving tokens. There is no transfer room map. There's just we're gonna sit in here today.
Ooh, I love Theater of the Mind.
So, do you guys go into the elevator? Or are you gonna make any stops before you go to the transfer room?
I don't think that
Jebediah's
there's
at
really
least gonna
anything. God.
Jebediah's gonna at least put his book away. That basically says that basically has the front cover that says High Seas on it.
Okay.
And go to the elevator.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys go into the elevator. Once again, you guys feel a strange pressure as the elevator travels somewhere, and you guys briefly black out. You guys see a bright, even though it say blackout, you see a bright white light in your vision, takes over your vision, as now you're in a room that looks much like the elevator, slightly bigger, with a larger door and a like a globe, like an earth globe, with like a like you know, like the big earth globe in the stand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that big thing. So like an earth globe and a like a clock beside it. But like this clock has like indications for day, year, and stuff. Currently though, it's set to 0. Like everything on the clock is set to 0. And then it says, which book would you like to retrieve first? So the 3 book options are The Time Machine, Cuddles Meat Pies, and Baskerville Hounds. Or the Hounds of Baskerville, that's what it is. The Hounds of Baskerville. I think. It's whatever it's a Sherlock Holmes book.
Oh god.
Oh, I want to kind of go after the Sherlock Holmes book.
Okay, you want to go after the Hounds of Baskerville first?
Maybe.
Okay.
Sure.
Why not?
Okay, after selecting the Hounds of Baskerville, first the globe starts to spin, and the pointer is now pointing towards England, and then the clock changes to let's say 1905, sometime in like March of 1905 is what the clock says now. As the whole room begins to like rumble and like shake. And then it all settles down. And the door has changed. The door in front of you has changed from a large door to that of just like a simple like wooden door. And that's all that's what happens. You go through the door?
Well, shit. Well, I
Where
might
the
as
fuck
well.
are we now?
Well, I reckon we're here to go pick up one of them books. And
Does the door look weird?
yeah, bring it back.
It looks, I'd say, probably Victorian. I'm picking a thing right now.
You're picking how it looks right now.
Or I'm picking like where you're being dropped off. Because this third book was the one that changed like the most in my like planning phase of like what I wanted to do for it.
Oh, so we chose the most difficult one for you.
It's fine. It was just this one. It was, what was it? It was gonna be what was it called? The Temple was the book that was initially gonna be in this slot, but I haven't like done enough setup on like for that yet. Okay, let's see. I want like an English library that was there, that existed in the 1900s. Let's see. So yeah, so you guys.
Why don't we go to the Library of Alexandria?
I think that's too old for what this particular one. Okay, well, so you guys, you open the door and you see a different library, but this one is a lot less fanciful than the library you've been residing in. A lot more mundane. And it
So we have to find a book in a place that houses books.
or no, this is just your like entry point into reality.
Oh, okay.
It says
Jebediah's gonna still believe that.
the map marker shows that you have to go to like a home or like a building that's like somewhere outside of the library. Like a map appears in front of you that shows like London, and you got to go like a neighborhood over to get like the book.
It's just finding a book is like finding a needle in a haystack.
Well, you don't have to
Needles
find it
and
in the
needles.
library. At least you just have to go. You have to go to the house or whatever, to a house. So the map is for a location that's like a mile away from the
All right,
library.
well, let's go. Jebediah will...
What's Jebediah do?
Jebediah's gonna look at the map and try to figure out where this location is, and he'll just try to follow the map like to the T while he's in the library.
Like without leaving the library?
All right, so that without leaving the library. All right, so that owl right there must be that house. So we got to make a turn right here, and then we got to turn right over there, and then right there, and then right there, and it should be where that little X is.
You know where you're going.
The pointer that shows like your
Of course I
position
do.
barely moves.
What the fuck?
Which means it's a long ways away.
So it's not here. What the hell?
No, it's not.
Would I be able to tell
Where is-
roughly how far away it is based off the map?
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute walk away, so like a mile, 2 miles.
So a mile, 2 miles.
Yeah, it depends on how fast you walk. If you're a speed walker, it's like 2 miles, or not 2 miles. It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'll say it's 2 miles. So you can do it in like 20 minutes if you go fast. If you run.
Okay. So it's roughly a 20-minute walk, or speed walk.
Yeah, I'd say 20-minute speed walk. Maybe 15 minutes if you run. I'll say it's like a mile and a half, rather.
Sure, I have the stamina for that. What about y'all?
Yeah, I'm down.
To go on a mile run.
Of course.
I mean,
What,
for
y'all
my
don't?
character, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mason is completely fine with that. He has to walk around constantly as an investigator, so
Yeah. It's not that far. It's like just a little bit. You guys step out of the arcade, or not arcade, it's not the right word. This like very mundane looking library. And you step out into Victorian England, but late Victorian England.
Oh god.
So there's like there would be cars, I think.
It could have been anywhere. It could have been anywhere, and we chose the most communist place in the entire world.
What? England? Did the Americans have the perception of England being communist in the 90s or in the 1920s?
The Americans believed everyone was communist that wasn't
Okay.
American.
Here, let me see real quick. Cars. So I'm also trying to think of when cars would have been in England. I'm pretty sure there's cars in the, like, 1903 or whatever. But maybe just, like, old rickety cars.
1892.
1892. Yeah, there's definitely cars on this road, but they're, like, old cars. But not the... For some of you, they're not that old of cars. They're just, like, maybe, like, 20 years old. For Amelia, these cars are 100 years old. Over 100 years old.
It's like me seeing those cars thinking, oh, that's vintage.
Yeah. No, I think even they would think it's, like, vintage, because, like, it's still, like, 20, 30 years before their time.
Yeah, but for me, these are like collector vintage.
Yeah.
Like, not many of them exist anymore.
Like, museum vintage.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So you guys have stepped out into 1903 England, and you guys can take a walk.
Take a run.
Take a run, yeah, take a run through the street.
What time of day is it? Are there a lot of people out?
I'd say it's... For now, it's morning, so it's, like, foggy, cloudy, because, like, England is, like, a dreary
Okay,
place,
then
so
run.
it's a dreary morning.
Yeah, then run before people wake up, because they just looks weird if we're running while everyone else is walking.
I mean, you guys could be in a rush to get somewhere.
Yeah, but you also put a female wearing pants in the Victorian age.
I mean, they might just think you're a young man or something.
Yeah, let's just get to it.
Do not mind our male friend.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Yes, do
Jeff
not
and I
mind our male friend. Our very male friend.
yeah.
Right, they found out the hard way that it's a she.
So after your light running, your like mile run, feel a little bit winded, but you arrive in front. I'll go ahead and like change what it is. Let's see what's the address. Well, it was gonna be a mansion, but then I had a funner idea.
A mansion?
Yeah, but now it's a flat. But like it's a slightly fancy flat. Like it's like not a boarding house isn't the right word. Let's see.
Oh god. Is it
It's a flat. The street you're on Baker Street.
You bring us to an orphanage.
It's not an
Oh, wow.
orphanage.
Is there
It's a flat. You're on
is there
Baker
children
Street.
coffins in there?
There's no child coffins, but you do definitely see some urchins like staring at you.
Children coffins are there.
The urchins aren't in the flat. They're outside of the flat.
It's a place that does drugs. Got it. Joking.
What is it? And you walk up following the map. You end up on 221B Baker Street.
Oh fuck.
Finally, somebody got it. Jesus fucking Christ!
I don't get it.
I'm staying out of it.
You're staying out of the
What?
home or out of what the
Staying
meaning
out
of
of
the
the
address is?
In character.
You
I
might
have
even
no
know
idea
in
what this shit
character.
is.
What year did the book come out?
The book came out in like the 1800s. That's irrelevant.
You said 221B Baker Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm staying out of it.
Wait, now I gotta
You
figure it
don't
out.
want to meet?
Like, now I gotta figure it out.
You
No,
don't
I mean,
want to
like,
meet
my
the man?
My character is fully aware of what this is. I know what this
Okay.
is. It's just the whole thing of I'm staying out of this conversation.
Oh, actually, I ended up picking it the year after this book came out. I'll say maybe we're actually like a little bit before that then, maybe. So maybe it is like 1899 or something instead.
I don't get the reference.
Because I meant to pick.
I'm not in the loop.
I mean, in all fairness, in 1899, it would still be his place. It's from 1881 to 1904.
Yeah, but I'm saying just when the book came out, because the book's supposed to be anachronistic, and like it's not supposed to be. Well, this place shouldn't even exist. I think I don't even think it's. Or it was it is a real street though, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
an
it
It's a
actual
real
place.
street,
It's
a
the
real,
Sherlock
it's a
Holmes
real
Museum.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
in
googled
current
it, but I
days,
just don't know the
he's-
story behind it.
I believe that it was the home of Sherlock Holmes that they turned into a museum.
Or
Oh.
in the
Yes.
fictional story, it's his home, but he was never a real person.
That sounds like quitter talk.
He was never a real person, guys. Sherlock Holmes is purely fiction.
It's not purely
No,
fiction. I
let me
he was based
believe.
after someone.
Yeah, he's like based off of someone, but like.
Let me believe.
Okay, so you walk up to the flat. The door's closed.
Well, it's time for me to do some lock picking. Pulls out his gun.
I suggest just knocking.
What's the lady's name? The caretaker. What's his landlord's name? Wait.
I'm trying to remember. Sherlock Holmes' caretaker name is Mrs. Hudson.
Hudson, okay. So you approach the door. So you knock. Somebody knocked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you knock the door. A Victorian lady with like short bobbed hair answers the door. Hello, how may I help you today?
I actually don't remember why we came here.
To retrieve a book.
The book.
Which
Right,
book?
the book.
The Hound
We're
of
here for a
Baskerville.
book.
Oh, right.
Oh, my, a book. From which tenant are you receiving the book today?
Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, you're friends of Mr. Holmes. Right away. One sec. She lets you in. Mr. Holmes is currently out at the moment. Please wait for him to come back. I'll get you some tea. And she sets you down in like a sitting room, and she goes to get you tea.
I think she's loony.
No, I think he's here. He's just not here at the moment.
So
No, she's loony because there's no way that Sherlock Holmes is actually here.
He could be. Maybe in the basement.
the basement.
Amelia's just gonna kindly point out the fact of y'all do remember where we are, right?
Yeah, we're in
Yes,
Sherlock Holmes's palace.
Palace?
Alice.
Flat.
Palace?
You're not even in his actual flat. You're in like the waiting room of the apartment building.
No,
What
I
type
meant
of fucking
for
house
all
do you
the
think he
events
lives
that
in?
have happened up to now. What makes you think that non-fictional characters can't be real? Might as well treat him like a decent human being.
All right, but if he starts speaking weird and has a weird heterosexual relationship with this man named Watson,
What if I went with the American TV version of Watson's a woman?
then he'll really lose his shit.
Because he wouldn't understand it. Amelia would, because she knows what you're talking about.
What if Wendy Wheatley just walks into the building?
I'm sorry, my character might actually break. It would just be that moment of just a little eye twitch of this is so wrong right now.
So Mrs. Hudson comes back and she has like a full tea set for you and she serves you guys some tea. It's Earl Grey. You guys
Tell me, how long have you been in the service of Mr. quote unquote, he does the little parentheses with his hand, Sherlock Holmes?
Service? I'm not sure what you mean. Mr. Holmes is a tenant here at the flat that I own.
Amelia's just gonna
right.
quietly sip her tea while Jemediah makes a fool of himself.
Mr. Holmes
I'm just checking.
should be back quite soon. He went out just for like a short for a short thing or for a quick thing. He ought to be back soon.
Do you know where he went?
He went
Probably to go find Moriarty.
My first instinct was to say he went on a drug run, but that's not right either. Go get some heroin, he'll be back in a bit.
Socially acceptable in Victorian era.
It is, and that was like he was on it so hard. That was just like caffeine. But Mr. Holmes is currently at the Science University. Doing some sort of experiment.
Do you know what kind of experiments it is?
His work sure is something that goes above my head, but it was something about luminol, some sort of word.
Luminescence?
The word's luminol.
Luminol?
I think. Isn't that the word for that thing? The thing that makes like
thing?
it's like a liquid that makes blood visible. I think it's
Oh! Okay.
like from I've only actually read like the very beginning of the first Sherlock Holmes book. So that's like all the information I have, but like that's his introduction to Watson is he's like working on luminol in the lab.
Oh god, we can make it where he won't meet. No. See, I thought he would have probably been at Dartmoor in Devonshire.
Like I said, I read the very beginning of the first book.
Well, for the fact that you're doing the Hounds of Baskervilles, that takes place in the haunted Dartmoor of Devonshire in England.
No, it's just retrieving the book. We're not like doing the full thing. We're just retrieving the book. I'll do more research on that if we're gonna do a whole thing. Maybe there will be a whole like Sherlock thing one day, but this is just like a short little interstitial.
Like, no, the Hound of Baskerville is where Watson discovers that the quote-unquote person is Holmes and not Jack Stubbleton.
So I was just, what is it? I picked Hound of Baskerville just because it had Hound in the title for something that's gonna happen. But
Oh, for the spectral dogs?
we'll get there when we get there.
I'm actually curious how much about this book you
Spoilers.
actually know.
I don't know about the Baskerville dogs. It's a different dog. I just wanted to pick a book title that had the word hound in it.
Okay.
Of course you did.
So you guys wait for a bit, and then you hear
I had a question.
What was the question? Do you have a question, Psycho?
Shino.
Oh, Shino, you had a question?
Yeah, Shino.
No, I didn't have
Oh.
a question.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said question.
No.
Okay. Okay, so after waiting for a bit,
There are so many titles with the word hound in it.
well, specifically I wanted it to be Hound of without being the actual title of the thing that's being referenced, because the thing that's being referenced also is Hound of, but I want that to be like the last part of the like
Oh.
a different side quest.
Called Sound of the Hounds.
What?
There's also a book called The Sound of the Hounds.
I mean, there's also like a Lovecraft book that's called The Hound, which it was almost that instead, but
Fox and the Hound Dog.
yeah, it was almost that too. I had that thought briefly too. But okay, so
Hound of Honor.
so you guys wait for a bit, and into the flat comes a not a young man, but certainly not an old man. Just a man. Is he middle-aged? I thought he was like 30.
That's middle age.
We're in our 20s. That's sad and scary to think that 30 is middle-aged.
Yeah, 30 to 40 is middle age.
Damn, that's sad.
Yeah. We're all 20 here.
Yeah.
What did you? I don't think you're 30 yet, Psycho.
Wait, how old is Psycho?
He's only like he's younger than me. Wait, you're younger than me by a year. You're 23.
Oh.
Unless your birthday came
Oh
in.
my God,
You
am I-
dox me.
Wait, am I the oldest one out of the 4 of us here?
You might be. I'm 24.
I'm 24.
Oh, God.
The youngest here.
I know typically I think Soul's the oldest when Soul's around.
Yes,
that's
he's
cool.
27, 28.
Yeah.
Soul's 28?
I think he's 27. I think he'll be 28 in October.
Oh, God.
God, no wonder I have a thing for older men.
He's not even that much older.
I turned 26 come the 24th of this coming month.
Happy early birthday.
No.
Happy early birthday.
No.
Happy early birthday.
Fuck you.
No, thank you. You got a husband for that.
For one, I didn't even say that to you, Shino.
I know.
Okay, so, Holmes walks in. He's got the deerstalker cap, which I don't even think he actually wore.
I'm so old now.
He's got the deerstalker cap, and he's got the weird, like, plaid overcoat thing. He looks just like what you'd imagine Sherlock Holmes to look like.
Oh,
He's
God.
not Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, I obviously
Damn
wanted The Witcher and Superman.
You wanted Henry Cavill? I mean, it could be Henry Cavill, I guess.
I mean,
Did he ever play
I
Sherlock?
wanted Robert Downey Jr.
You wanted Robert Downey Jr. Did Cavill play Sherlock?
I don't believe he did.
Okay.
I just said he would make it good.
Yeah, he would. He's cute.
Yes.
So he walks in and he's like, "Oh my, we have a guest. Are
Oh,
these your
great.
guests, Mrs. Hudson?"
We did play Sherlock.
Oh, he did? I feel like a lot of guys have played Sherlock.
No, like, he's the most recent.
Oh, is he the most recent?
Yeah. He's Sherlock Holmes movie.
It can be Henry Cavill in your heart. So, Holmes, he looks you guys over and he's like, "Oh my, what strange visitors. Mrs. Hudson, are these your guests?" And she's like, "No, I thought these were your guests, Mr. Holmes." My, how strange. You lot, what is your purpose for coming here?
We've come to
We
acquire
are seeking a book.
Who am I a book? Which book might that be?
So he says the book. I don't remember what the actual name
The
is.
Hound of Baskerville, or Hounds of Baskerville,
It's the Hound of
or Hound of
Baskerville.
Baskervilles. My, I haven't heard of such a book. Perhaps I should have a look through my belongings. And he takes you actually to his proper flat, though. He like directs you guys
The
to
book
his.
was published in 1902.
Yeah, that's why I decided that we're actually in 1899 now.
Yeah, so it hadn't even been made yet.
Yeah. Just for the sake of like it being slightly anachronistic.
Yeah.
You see Jebediah slow clap.
Why are you clapping?
What tickles your jollies, my friend?
Now, I may be a simple countryman, but this is the most accurate Sherlock Holmes I've ever seen in my entire life.
My, I would hope so, for that is my name, Sherlock Holmes.
What's your secret?
He gets real close, whispers in your ear, heroin.
Yep, that'll do it. I don't know
Damn it,
if
he's-
Sherlock
he's
Holmes
got
would
the
even
one
be
thing-
that blunt like that. I don't even think.
He's pretty
Yes,
blunt.
he would. He
He
would.
would definitely
He
blunt.
would have the balls to just
Yeah,
go out
you
and say
just
heroin.
say it, yeah.
Wow.
And lots of violin. My violin is
Okay.
the best violin.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So he welcomes you into his flat. It's a fucking mess. There's papers everywhere. There's like a moldy sandwich.
You need to clean up your shit around here.
If I clean up my shit, I'll lose the spark.
That is.
And that spark would be...
He points into his head, right here, my friend, right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
I'm doing my best. I barely know anything about Sherlock Holmes.
Improvise, Zenon!
I
Do
am
more
improvising.
research
That's what
about
she's
a
doing.
character.
Just try and
This is just
not,
cracked out Sherlock Holmes.
did not catch it.
Oh god.
So, you got that book?
I'll make yourselves at home, my friends. I shall look for the book. As he goes to like the
He has the book.
yeah, if he has the book. So he goes and starts searching his bookshelves.
For how
Start
intelligent he
moving
would
around
be.
fucking
If he had-
papers on his
If
couch.
he had the book,
He doesn't
he would
remember.
have known the name.
Yeah, he doesn't remember any book by the name, but he thinks perhaps maybe. Well, he's. You see, there are like fresh like boxes of books that he's also going through. Are you guys perhaps looking for one of the books I just received? As he like goes through like boxes of books that he just received.
I
Would you like some help looking for it?
If you
Yes,
would, my
sir.
friends. Yes, hint. So yeah, you got I guess would it be spot hidden instead of library use since it's not organized?
It's a
Yeah,
red
it would be
book,
spot hidden.
like
Yeah.
pure red book with golden seam.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say it's whatever the fanciest like cover is.
Let's see. I guess we're all doing this.
Yep.
Well,
I gotta
That
find my
wasn't-
spot hidden.
Jebediah finds it. What the hell? What the hell? Everyone but me finds it?
Since they found
You
the
see,
book.
this is why you send a man to a woman's job.
You fucking barely got it. Shut up.
You
I
have
swear to
such-
God, if
Shut
Jebediah,
up. You barely got it.
I swear to God, if Jebediah actually says that to her, he's getting punched.
While they find the book, Amelia, go ahead and give me a listen.
Oh, what?
A listen check. Okay.
Barely.
So they found the book and they're focused on the book. You, however, You hear a ripping noise.
A ripping?
Yeah, like it's like ripping, but it's you can't identify what's being ripped. But something
Can I
is
tell what
ripping.
location it is?
It sounds like it's coming from the corner of the room, like the upper like corner in the ceiling.
I'll probably look in that direction.
When you look in that direction, there's like a strange like black spot with like, it seems to be like maybe like some smoke is coming through now at this point. And you see like a long, it almost looks like the doctor's leeches, but much longer, poking through the corner of the room, like wiggling around as like smoke begins to like pour out of that corner.
Amelia's gonna point that out and be like, Mr. Holmes, is this a normal thing here?
Mr. Holmes, pipe in hand, looks up. I do not believe that is normal, my dear miss.
You're quite calm for a disturbance in your home.
He takes a hit from the pipe. Yes,
Oh,
it does
God.
seem.
Does anyone else look when Amelia asked that?
You guys look in the corner?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
He's making no. Jebediah is too busy looking for deductions.
Deductions.
Perhaps you'll find one somewhere. But yep. So the corner, the smoke is getting more and more as more and more of this thing pokes its way into the timeline. As that long slimy tentacle wiggles around some more, it starts to materialize more in the smoke. It's hard to make out what exactly it is, but it seems to be made of angles. Lots and lots of angles. There's not like a curved piece on this thing, as it comes more and more out of the corner.
Is it made out of paper?
And from some places it does look like it could be made out of paper, like an origami like type of thing. But it's also like black and slimy and scaly all at the same time.
What the hell?
As more and more of this thing comes into reality, around what appeared to be like a tentacle, there are mandibles almost like that of a like an ant type of thing, or like a trap jaw ant type of thing around this like slimy tentacle.
Yeah.
As a head starts to form into reality of this thing, one glowing eye stares at you, and where if this thing had two eyes, if it were an eye ought to be, there seems to be what could be a scar, but it's hard to tell because of just how messy this thing looks. A scar over its one eye, and as it encroaches more and more into reality, more and more of it becomes visible. The head of this thing is like, it's larger than a human head. It's like, I'd say twice the size of a human head, as like legs start to fold through the
Is it between us and the door?
no, you guys can get to the door.
Sweet. I'm gonna grab Jebediah because he's not paying attention.
Okay.
Making the way to the door.
Okay, you're gonna start. Are you gonna make any fast movements?
No, more of being cautious because I don't know what it is.
It seems to sniff the air, and its line of sight goes directly to the book. Does who has the book in their hands? Is it Mason or Jebediah? Jebediah's got the book, so it's staring right at Jebediah in the book.
Okay.
What are you?
Jebediah out
What
of
do
here.
you want from me, woman?
We're leaving now.
As more and more encroaches out of the wall, it's got its front legs have come out, from top of the head to like front legs on the ground. This thing is about the height of a human.
Yeah, no, at this point, it's probably gonna go from being cautious to being cautious while trying to get Jebediah out of there as quickly as possible with the book.
Okay, so you guys are gonna.
No,
You gonna do anything, Mason? What's Mason doing?
oh fuck this shit. I'm out.
Okay, you're out. Okay. So Jebediah, you at this point you've assumably seen our friend, yes?
I think at this point, Jebediah was over here like, what is with these women always wanting to run away? Like, oh my god!
Now that it's before you leave the room, now that it's head and neck and like arms, front legs are out of the thing. Of the stuff that's not smoke and weird angles, there does seem to be like not quite a collar, but more like a tag, like a type of tag they put on like animals that are being like tracked and researched. Like typically there'd be like a number or whatever. What was the number?
Any numbers on our way out?
You guys, since Jebediah already passed the spot hidden, and since Mason also passed the spot hidden, they're the ones who see this number. Let me see it. Which number was it gonna be? Which one made more sense? 1065, that's the number. Yeah. So 1065, the tag says. So we'll call him 1065 for now. So 1065, he's halfway out of the wall. You guys are out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, 1065 is this fucking SCP now?
No, if it's like as you leave, you do see the number like reflected in the mirror, and it kind of looks like it might be a word, but you're not sure yet. Okay, so you leave the room. You guys are now downstairs.
Can Jebediah make a
what?
Sorry, good.
Or say your part first.
I was gonna ask, can Jebediah just pull out his weapon and just start shooting at it?
Yeah, sure, you can shoot at him.
You have the book!
Let me get his...
And you're being dragged!
Stat sheet. Jebediah is a good shot.
Yeah, I got... It's a one-handed, weapon.
Where's my friend? Was he not part of the... I thought he was part of the base stuff. Is he under... Oh. Okay, I'll get him in the book. For some reason, the Roll20 doesn't have him, even though he's in the book. Get this book page open. But yeah, you can shoot your gun.
Okay, I'm going to shoot at this creature.
Where is my buddy? A good friend. There he is.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, that's 12. How much does he have?
Oh, okay.
No, 24, because it's critical damage. It's extreme damage.
Where'd you aim then? Where'd you hit? What part of him?
I'm aiming at the fucking head.
At the head? The eye that's still intact, or the damaged eye? Which eye?
I'm sorry?
Which part?
I'm shooting at. I'm shooting at the only eye that I can actively see is functioning.
I mean, it is a big glowing spot. As you shoot the big glowing spot on this thing's head, the bullet blows its head up into slime, as the thing then just kind of like flops out of the corner. The whole body just kind of like flops into the corner of the room, knocking over a bookshelf and landing on a desk. It's dead.
I still think you need to leave.
No, it's not moving anymore.
So wait, hold on. Where is Sherlock Holmes?
He's in here just like smoking his pipe, like damn.
So you're saying you never seen this thing before?
I certainly
He
haven't
already
seen. Okay, well, he comes back now that the commotion's over, and he's very much intrigued by this mess of angles. It's from like the body. You can see that it seems like it was a quadruped with like the basic like not quite a cheetah shape. It's
A
chunkier
chimera?
than a cheetah. Not a chimera either. It's like body shape. It's similar to a cheetah, but like chunky. But also, it's made of angles and looks like crumpled paper and scales and slime and smoke. Thing's still smoking. Dog. And then, so he investigates it. And he's like, I have never seen in my life such a strange being.
But it came out of your walls.
It certainly did come out of my wall, but I'm not aware of what it could be. He looks closer and he looks at the tag. And he kind of like tilts his head at the tag, and he's holding the tag upside down too. So like the number you saw, which was 1065, is now upside down. And he's like, perhaps its name was Spot.
What?
It's like if you look at like five or the
In a mirror, it would receive a spot.
upside down in a mirror, it'd read a Spot. Oh, they're making noise. So, he's like, what a strange thing. I've never seen anything quite resembling such a thing.
Okay.
As he investigates it, what do you guys do?
We got the book. We don't have to be here no more.
You don't have to be anymore. So you ditch. You ditch. You're gone.
That's supernatural. We're good.
We're gonna go.
Okay.
We are gonna go. Well,
Well,
we have what we came here for.
Well, it was nice to meet. It was nice to meet someone of my similar techniques, but we need to leave.
Similar techniques.
Zebediah.
He's
this
tuned
man
out.
is
He's
actually Sherlock.
investigating the corpse still.
Amelia is gonna point out that really is Sherlock Holmes.
No, it's not.
It
It
is.
is.
Oh yeah. Hey Sherlock,
Yes, sir.
what's the one phrase that you say every time you're about to, you have to correct someone?
Why, it's elementary, my dear cowboy. As he takes another hit from the pipe.
Shit, we need to go. We need to go.
Jebediah over here filling out class.
He's too powerful.
He's too powerful. It's because he hasn't really met Watson yet.
This is too much for the comprehension.
Okay. You guys, do you run back to the library? Or are you guys gonna just take a walk and try to process what just happened?
I say it's quick walk because we don't want to be in the streets for too long and we don't want another encounter.
I'd say it's about noonish by now. It's still like cloudy and muggy and dreary because it's England. What are you gonna do as you walk back to the library? Because it's England, it's gonna be dreary.
Just keep an eye out and get back as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Without losing the book.
Without losing the book.
We're gonna go to a phone booth and go to another dimension.
You gotta get to the library first.
This is not Doctor Who.
But it could be.
It could be, but it's not.
It could be though.
It could be.
But it could be.
But it could be. Okay, you guys get back to the library.
What were we supposed to do with the book anyways?
That
Get
was
back
like,
to library.
Was that it?
These are side quests, and it's about something else.
Was that it? Just to help the nerd?
Just to collect more books.
Okay, you guys get back into the library, and the door that you came in through, you open it back up, and you're back in, like, the transportation room. Sitting on a table in the transportation room is a box that says book return, please place here.
Holy shit, that was Sherlock Holmes.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
No, that was shit, Sherlock.
Potato.
I don't know what's
That's
more
irrelevant.
impressive, the fact that I met Sherlock Holmes, or the fact that I took that thing out in just one hit.
Just put the
You
book in
taking
the
out
box
something in
and
one
let us
hit?
see.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Okay,
All right, I'm gonna put the book into the bin.
Okay, you put it in the bin, and then, like, digital fireworks play over the bin, and, like, do-do-do-do.
Shoots at every firework.
One of 3 complete.
You're just wasting all your damn bullets.
Actually, you gotta run out.
I mean, within the transportation room, there is, like, an equipment locker or whatever. Which maybe, like, or when you bring up running out of bullets, a little message says, if you run out of supplies, check the equipment locker for a refill.
You see, what you don't understand, little lady, is that I know how to count.
Do you?
Do you really?
I don't know if that's a pop-up or if that's
It's
just the
certainly
library
a pop-up.
coming in.
Any comments I make are pop-ups, is how we'll treat it. Any, like, comments that aren't,
No, we were in the library, so it was assuming she's
Amelia
like, oh yeah.
definitely likes the pop-ups. They're sarcastic. She enjoys them.
Shoots at the pop-up.
Right. What's our next objective?
So the window pops back up. It says 2 remaining books, The Time Machine and Cuddles Meat Pies.
Time machine.
I don't.
You know
I was
what?
about to
I'm
say-
thinking about Cuddles and Meat Pie. Get that shit out of the way.
I say we stay here and watch all of my movies.
Does anybody? I think Amelia might remember what Cuddles Meat Pie did.
I think I know what Cuddle Meat Pie is.
We can do a cuddle me a pie, I guess.
That's definitely not a meat pie you should be eating.
Yeah, it's just like the worst pies in Landon.
Mm.
Okay,
It's definitely not made out of someone's flesh.
so,
Practically from Sweeney Todd.
So the, after picking Cuddles Meat Pies, where's the book at? Is it in my room? I have to go get a physical book one sec, because I need to know what date it is, and what the location is.
Probably. I am really hoping it's not the Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie books. Because that's like an old 1918 book, and it was not very well depicted.
No.
Is it a real book? I made up a book. Wait, I thought this was a made up book. Is this real? One sec.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's real? Okay, maybe it has another name.
There's a book called Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie.
No, Cuddles.
And it was... Oh, okay.
I think, or I have to check a different book for what the actual... I gotta, like, check 3 different books, because this was, like, meant to be a reference to Waterdeep.
Oh, hey, look at this. This book is real. It's not very popular, though.
It's meant to be a reference to Waterdeep. What's the actual place called? Well, unless the Waterdeep thing was a reference.
I honestly think it's all a reference to Sweeney Todd.
It might be.
Everything's a reference. You're a reference. You're a reference.
Power was the. This one was the name of the store. Oh, it is called Cuddles Meat Pies, but let me see what that is. If that's a real thing outside of the Waterdeep.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Levette's Pie Shop.
What? What did Amelia say?
Oh, I said at least it's not called Levette's Pie Shop.
Yeah.
But
What?
still.
They did nothing wrong. They were trying to make pies in a very tough society.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, I understand it, but at the same time, no. Great.
And the guy was
Oh,
just
there's
a barber.
Is it a real no pie shop in the tree? No, that's okay. That is the way this picture brought up. It was like it was a real location, but that's for the Waterdeep thing. Okay.
I'm gonna listen to the soundtrack of Sweeney Todd.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, when you Google Cuddles Meat Pies, it just brings up the Waterdeep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not accidentally making reference to something bad because I'm specifically replacing an actual bad book from the from the like story structure that I'm referencing.
Oh, I'm curious what book it is.
Oh, the original book, it was some sort of like very old Civil War or pre-Civil War like journal about exploring Africa that makes very bad has very bad ideas about how people in Africa lived at the time. So I'm replacing it with a different book, with a fictional book. Okay, now I gotta
You
switch.
see, class, the people in Africa live in huts and use sticks as weapons.
Or no, because right now I'm doing a short Lovecraft. What's it
Do
called?
you know that quarterstaffs hurt like a hell, right?
And they believed in stuff that shouldn't even exist, like women's rights.
Because
Jesus Christ.
the
You better not be Jebediah be not.
Because okay, so you're in so the location for the Cuddles Meat Pies book retrieval is the backwoods of New England was a year given. Or is it just implied to be? Okay, it's just implied to be, okay. So the like location thing switches to New England, and the time period is like the 1920s.
Oh, hey.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, so you go through the door, and you're in. It's certainly a library, but it's very small, like a very small community's library.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for you there's no people in this library. It seems to be closed. Outside of the library, you find some time appropriate bicycles. And then so what I'm readapting, or for this like little short side thing, it's meant to be a reference to the Lovecraft story, The Picture in the House, but I don't like the direction that that one goes, so that's why I switched the book in question to a fictional book instead of a real book.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read the first paragraph of Pictures in the House because I like this paragraph. Searchers after horror haunt strange far places. For them are the catacombs of Portimise and the cavern of Mausolea. For the nightmare countries, they climb to the moonlit towers of ruined Rhine castles and falter down black cobbled steps beneath the scattered stones of forgotten cities in Asia. The haunted wood and the desolate mountain are their shrines, and they linger around the sinister monoliths of uninhabited islands. but the true Oedipus of the terrible, to whom a new thrill of unutterable ghastliness is the chief end of justification of existence, esteems most of all the ancient lonely farmhouses of backwoods New England, for there the dark elements of strength, solitude, grotesqueness, and ignorance combine to form the perfection of the hideous. Most horrible of all sights are the little unpainted wooden houses remote from traveled ways, usually squatted upon some damp grassy slope, or leaning against some gigantic outcropping of rock. 200 years and more they have leaned or squatted there, while the vines have crawled and the trees have swelled and spread. They are almost hidden now, and lawless, luxurious, of green and guardian shrouds of shadow. But the small paned windows still stare shockingly, as if blinking through a lethal stupor, which wards off madness by dulling the memory of unutterable things. That's what the part I'll read of that. I like that, like, introduction to it is interesting. So, you guys, your map shows that, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot of houses out here as you step out of this little rundown library. You got some bicycles. What?
Where are we going, though?
The map shows that, you're going to a little farmhouse, like, down the road.
How far down the road?
It's a bit, that's why you have bikes.
Oh.
Does Jebediah know how to ride bikes?
He should, since this was his time period.
I do, actually.
He was probably roughly around a kid.
Well, just because, you know, in his era he can, doesn't mean that his character knows how to actually ride it.
My character knows how to ride a bike and drive.
I would laugh if he tried to drive and wrecks a car instead.
I mean, you kind of need somebody able to drive for, like, just Call of Cthulhu's sake, because, like, a lot of the stuff involves, like, car chases.
I believe my character knows how to.
Yeah, you probably know, too. I think everybody but Hugor knows how to drive a car.
I know how to drive a station wagon.
Station wagon. Oh god. Let's just get on the bikes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what stat would be for riding a bike, just to see if how bumpy the ride is or how comfortable it is.
Oh,
I would assume drive auto, because it's the only thing in here that goes into driving.
Yeah, you guys can drive auto. If you fail, nothing terrible happens. It's just not a comfortable ride.
I'm probably gonna fail because I actually didn't put a lot of points into it.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Jebediah knows how to drive auto, though.
I don't think I put anything in drive auto.
I just meant my character should know how
What
to.
the fuck?
What? Yeah, no, I failed.
Okay. You guys have a little bit of a hard time.
Clearly, I know how to fucking drive auto.
You guys have a little bit of a hard time because of the bumpiness of this, like, unpaved country, or it's paved. I don't even know if would they have paved this shit back then?
No.
Absolutely not. It will be just dirt
or gravel at least. But yeah, these roads are not fun for bikes. as you have a very uncomfortable ride. You don't fall off and hurt yourself. It's just not comfortable and not easy. Mason, however, he's going for it. Maybe the bike he picked up was the one off-road bike that was of the batch. Or he's just real good at off-road bike riding.
I got BMX bikes while I got an off-road bike. Damn, doesn't that suck?
Fuck off.
As you make your way through the backwoods of New England, passing by intermediate little, like, abandoned little farmhouses, you approach the driveway of a particular one.
Past listen, I forgot to mark it.
Or what?
I forgot the part to mark listen.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mark your things that you succeeded on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should probably mark my handgun.
Yeah.
You should also Mark your spot.
My spot hidden. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. As you approach the house, let's see which. As you're getting closer, what was a not kind of nice day, it's now also becoming cloudy here. Old England, New England, both England's dreary. The clouds are rolling in.
Ugh.
Okay. So this is the narration from the book. I found myself upon an apparently abandoned road which I had chosen as the shortest cut to Arkham, overtaken by the storm at a point far from any town, and confronted with no refuge save the antique and repellent wooden buildings which blinked with bleared windows from between two huge leafless elms near the foot of a rocky hill. Distant though it was from the remnant of a road, the house nonetheless impressed me unfavorably the very moment I espied it. Honest, wholesome structures do not stare at travelers so slyly and hauntingly, and I, in my genealogical research, the person in this story is talking to all the people living in these like homes about like their ancestry for like a book he's writing. I had encountered legends of a century before which biased me against places of this kind, yet the force of the elements was such to overcome my scruples, and I did not hesitate to wheel my machine up the weedy rise to the closed door which seemed at once so suggestive and secretive. I had somehow taken for granted that the house was abandoned, yet I approached it. I was not so sure, for though the walks were indeed overgrown of weeds, they seemed to retain their nature a little too well to argue complete desertion. Therefore, instead of trying the door, I knocked. Okay, that's where I'll end there. So, you come across the house in the narration. The yard is overgrown. It's barely standing, but the path does seem clear.
As if like someone's frequented.
Yeah, as like there's been foot traffic here at some point.
Okay.
I personally would prefer to like look at other things to see if there might actually be someone here.
What things in particular? It's a 2-story house, but it's not very big. What other things would you like to look at?
Like, would it have a porch?
Yeah, I'll say it has like a slight little porch.
Okay. Is the porch covered in dust? Are there footprints on it?
The porch is relatively like not dusty, but it's also like there is definitely like plants like overgrowing from underneath the porch. And it doesn't seem to have been like fully maintained.
But obvious that someone is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say knock then.
Okay, you knock. There's no answer. Oh wait, there might not be. There can be a porch in our version because it says it was a mossy stone as the doorstep or whatever. But there can be a porch. Okay, but yeah, so there's no answer from the door. But it is raining, and even though there is a slight porch, it's raining now at this point. By the time you got up the like driveway, the rain is leaking through this like tiny little porch awning. Like it's not gonna keep you dry.
Would y'all like to try and make our way in?
I mean, do we have any other choice?
Well, we could leave. We could wait out the storm. There's a lot of things that we could do.
If we wait out the storm, we'll catch a cold.
You're really worried about catching a cold out here?
And
Wouldn't you?
it definitely says though that your objective is here also on your map.
We die and we go back to the library. I don't think a cold is the biggest issue here.
It'll cause sanity problems.
No, it won't.
I'm not sure if characters are consciously aware of their sanity points. Maybe on your like status screen, perhaps there's a sanity point score.
No, I was just thinking, like, when's the last time you seen someone go crazy because they had a cold?
That is a fair question, though.
You see, exactly. Even the woman agrees.
I swear to God, I'm gonna punch him.
I will say, at some points, I hate playing as Jebediah because of this. At the same time, I absolutely love it.
No,
You
should hate it.
love it?
You
but
should hate it. You're scum of the earth.
Like how Sheena's like, you're the scum of the earth. Fun light misogyny. Okay, so do you guys let yourselves in?
Options?
Just keep knocking.
Well, I guess there's only... Yeah, Jebediah's gonna go for the door.
Okay, it's unlocked.
Damn it, I wanted to lockpick it. Alright.
Yes, because that went so well for you with the church.
Because, like, he lives in... They live in the middle of, like, nowhere. Why are you locking you don't lock your door when you live in the middle of nowhere.
Some people do.
Some people do, but,
I still do.
I do, too.
Well, like, how in the middle of nowhere, like...
Back when I lived amongst, like, literally back roads, forest, and coyotes every night.
Because, like, when I lived, like, I had a mile-long driveway, and we didn't lock our door. Or we sometimes locked it just out of, like, habit or whatever, but we didn't always lock it. And we weren't concerned about locking it.
For me, it's, like, just a safety thing.
Yeah, always gotta lock your doors, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
You're stupid if you don't.
But, But like, because specifically this is 1920s backwoods, so it's extra not locked.
So it's extra not locked.
So extra not safe and people can actually rob.
Yeah, like
Got
you're
it.
in backwoods, there ain't nothing in there to rob.
Yeah. So as you open this door, you do see this is a very small little like bare bones house. The door there's a staircase, and then there's like the everything room. Is there? Let's find the.
I don't know. Yeah, no. If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you ain't locking your stuff, you ain't got nothing for people to
So the
steal.
actual description: leaning my cycle against the wall, I opened the door at the left and crossed into the small, low-ceilinged. It means ceilinged, but it's Old English. Chamber, but dimly lit by its two dusty windows, and furnished in the barest and most primitive possible way. It appeared to be a kind of sitting room, for it had a table and several chairs, and an immense fireplace above which ticked an antique clock on a mantel. Books and papers were very few, and in the prevailing gloom I could not readily discern the titles. What interested me was the uniform air of anarchism, as displayed in every visible detail. Most of the houses in this region I had found rich in relics of the past, but here the antiquity was curiously complete, for in all the room I could not discover a single article of definitely post-revolutionary date. Had the furnishings been less humble, this place would have been a collector's paradise. I surveyed this quaint apartment. I felt an increase in the aversion first excited by the bleak exterior of the house. Just what it was that I feared or loathed I couldn't by no means define, but something in this whole atmosphere seemed redolent of unhallowed age, of unpleasant crudeness, and of secrets which should be forgotten. I felt disinclined to sit down and wondered about examining the various articles which I had noticed. Okay, that's where I'll end, and you guys can decide what you do in the room.
Burn the witch.
No.
No.
Burn the witch.
Okay,
No.
so,
I have
okay,
Sorry.
yeah.
I was just gonna ask how soaked are all three of us?
It just started to rain, and you guys decided to go in fast enough to where you're just, like, damp.
Okay. I personally would want to, like, look around just very cautiously.
Okay. Try spot hidden again.
Huh?
Everybody try spot hidden again. Also, as a
Okey-doke.
chance to get,
Failures everywhere!
as
Oh,
a chance to get your
never mind.
guys' spot hidden up. Also, this is like the point of this is also like a training exercise.
Yeah, I got hard success.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, you got it earlier at least. You're more concerned about the
I know.
or the Civil War, or not even Civil War, Revolutionary War, huh? Never mind. For some reason I thought it was Civil War when I thought about it before. It's Revolutionary War, air shit.
Thank you.
Yep. I think
Air
it's
shit?
just more the.
What?
Air,
I
well,
think it's just more
air,
the fact.
and then comma shit.
I think it's more the fact of I got that crit.
Yeah.
And now I'm not gonna get anything for the rest of the night.
No, I'm glad you got the crit though, because it plays into what I wanted to do with that. So the
Ow!
okay,
My cat just bit me.
Get
Get down! Get down!
So
No,
what
get off
Amelia
the bed.
and Mason see, the first object of my curiosity was a book of medium size lying upon the table and presenting such an, I don't know that word, antediluvian aspect that I marveled at beholding it outside of a museum or library. It was bound in leather with metal fittings and was in an excellent state of preservation, being altogether an unusual sort of volume to encounter in an abode so lowly. When I opened it to the title page, my wonder grew even greater, for it proved to be nothing less than, and then he says the actual book. So the actual book is the Pigafetta's account of the Congo region, written in Latin, with notes of Sailor Lopez, printed in the Frankfurt in 1598. But we're cutting that part and replacing it with Cuddles Meat Pies because it's a racist book.
Ah. I was just sitting here like, can you explain it to some of the class who are not as intelligent?
No, I didn't know what it was either.
Entails?
I only know what the book contains because the story is about what the book contains.
It's a yikes book.
Yeah, it's a yikes book. It's like old, an old description of the Congo region from the 1500s. But actually, surprisingly, because it was like, whoever did the illustrations had never even seen an African person, and so didn't even know that they were dark-skinned, and so all the illustrations in the book are based off of, like, descriptions of, like, the actions that happen, and so everybody is, like, drawn pale or whatever, according to the Lovecraft story.
So white people.
Oh, so it's the Christopher Columbus thing all over again.
Yeah, it's something like that, yeah, but, like, so the depictions are disparaging of the people living in the Congo.
Wait,
to the point where the person who did the illustrations didn't even know what a black person looked like.
Wait, I'm confused. What do you mean the Christopher Columbus thing all over again?
He just means like mixing up like someone's nationality or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think
Christopher
it's
Columbus after he came back from the quote unquote India, actually wrote a series of books that went into detail about how the Native Americans were primarily either white or Caucasian, and there were only some cases of Native American actually skin tone, but they were only as women who have never seen a man before.
what?
What?
And
That's
he was
strange shit. He actually
And when
saw the
he went to-
natives though, unless he just stayed on his stupid boat.
No, he saw the natives. He wrote stories about how about Pocahontas and how she was desperately in love with Christopher.
No, I thought that was John Smith. Are you mixing up John Smith and Christopher Columbus?
No, it was Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Wait.
Or was John Smith an additional added to the story by Disney or something?
Yeah.
I think John Smith just added to it.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm mixing that up.
I think you're mixing up because Pocahontas is John Smith.
No, Pocahontas has two people. There were two different movies for Pocahontas. The first one was John Smith.
Well, shit.
But I think the Pocahontas stuff is
Other
way
than that,
post.
you also cannot go off of Disney for accuracy.
I'm just saying, I think Pocahontas though is like way post Christopher Columbus, like in the actual thing, because she was like a 13-year-old girl.
Well, I can't remember.
It's
all
1596.
It's all history.
Yeah, but it's something similar to that, whatever this Congo book is. But so it's changed to the title says Cuddles Meat Pies. It's do you flip through the book or?
I would flip through the book, yeah.
So as you're flipping through the book, it seems to depict some sort of fantasy world where like different creatures seem to live in this city called Waterdeep somewhat harmoniously. Except there's this one butcher that works for the mob. And that butcher, as you're flipping through the book, there seems to be a page that's been open a lot. And so, like if you flip through a book where there's been a page that's been open a lot, it will, like, automatically want to flip to that page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like if the stem is already made.
Yeah. So in flipping through the book, it automatically wants to land on this one page that has a depiction of the butchery in Waterdeep. The butcher. Of the butchery of the half orc or orc butchery. I don't remember.
Oh, my Roll20 is not loading.
Oh, is your Roll20 not loading? You can still hear me though, yeah.
Like, I can still hear
Leader
you.
of the mind, so
I just can't open up Roll20. It turned white screen and then poof, gone.
find the name
It did
of the
not like
butcher.
talking about Christopher Columbus.
Butcher. That's it. It's the tower. There it is. Okay, the winter version. Old Tower Winter. Oh, is it not the tower? Where's the? Oh, it was the windmill. This is what I want. Sorry, one sec. I gotta find the right because I forgot the name of the butcher. It's this one. Okay. Windmill Winter Butchery.
What the fuck?
What?
It's telling me a graphic error.
Huh. Maybe like restart your browser. Okay,
It
so
says we have detected that you may be using an unsupported system or browser, or that hardware accelerator may be disabled.
maybe it's an issue with your graphics card.
No,
I don't know then.
I don't know.
Have we tried turning it off and on again?
Shut the fuck up.
It's so the fold that the book wants to open to depicts Thrakus butchery, but the only information you've been able to glean from this book though is via the pictures, and then like they say like in big like English letters, Trachis butchery on this page. And the title of the book says Cuddles Meat Pie. But the language the book in is kind of hard to read. Do any of you know Latin?
No.
No.
I can try.
You can try.
My character can try.
You guys can try rolling language Latin. I think it's 10 is the base for languages you don't know. I forget, or maybe even be lesser.
My own is 70.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more of just
That's
more.
own, yeah. We'll see. Well, it depends on how good you roll on own, and we'll see how much you can make sense of it.
Okay, alright. I see how this game. Sure.
My line's a little rusty.
Okay.
I know Latin better than all you fucks.
Well, rolling on own is different. That's how well you know English. But using what you know of English, you're able to make out some information about this book.
Well,
so
I don't know where
yeah.
else we can roll.
Isn't there like secondary languages?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Or those
Nope.
have to be manually placed. I'll say with the hard success and the success, English is close enough to Latin where you can make out a little bit of stuff. In that, this seems to be a butchery depicting a butcher hacking up. The butcher, for whatever reason, is green, surprisingly enough.
Green eggs and ham.
Green eggs and ham. The
You see-
butcher is green.
You see, the term here represents Vactu de Moris, which goes into the details of going into Spanish, which means Donde está la biblioteca? Which translate roughly to
Can I hit him?
Yes.
It's brawl to hit someone.
You're lucky. You are lucky.
You see, this is why women can't hit.
You're gonna get shot.
Oh, probably.
That's a yikes.
Okay.
He's really getting fucking hit right now.
The
He's gonna get hit though. I don't want to kill him.
So you guys look through the book. So the main page that it's been like on the most is that like center, or that fold that has the depiction of the butchery happening. And then other pages you see what seem so like looking at the pictures, you see the progression of a cart goes to the butchery. The person pulling the cart, his there's like a little like not name tag's not the right word, like photo description thingy that says the person pulling the cart, his name seems to be Justin based off of what you can understand. And so Justin takes the meat from the butchery to Cuddles meat pies, where then it's made into meat pies. And at the end of the book of these pictures, it seems the meat pies are being sold to a group of people that includes two hooded figures, a large armored knight, a small green creature, and a blue tinted young man seem to receive these pies, say something to the person running the shop, and then the final page is the shop being closed. And that's what this book depicts.
Uh-huh.
Do we remember, or was that too long ago?
remember what. Sorry.
Oh, God.
It might have been too long ago.
It might have been too long ago.
I honestly zoned out for a moment.
It was one of the few times you actually like got disgusted with the narration in Waterdeep. Like maybe Silver blocked it from her mind completely. Because I think she was gagging during the thing before.
Yeah.
When was the last session we had of Waterdeep?
Like 3 months ago.
Long time ago.
Exactly.
Do you guys remember the human pies?
If I remember right. Oh!
Oh yeah.
That's what this whole thing was a
Randall tried
reference
to eat one.
Oh, you mean the damn pies that for some reason people at the party thought it was a good idea to buy?
Yeah, those pies. That's what this book is
I wanted
about.
to eat one.
I think you did eat
No.
it.
Oh yeah, I did eat one.
There we go. Okay, I got the reaction I was trying to fish for.
In all fairness, at the time that all happened, I almost really did throw up because of the fact that I was sick.
Yeah, but right now we're actually doing the horror story, so it's more appropriate than before.
I'm good.
Okay.
The funny thing is my person's supposed to be emotionless, but with emotion, it's weird.
Okay. So you guys are looking through this book. And then you hear some thumping upstairs. What's this message?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
What?
Jebediah, you want to go check the bedrooms?
Well, you hear the...
if it means that I'm able to protect a lady in waiting, then sure, I think I can do that.
Wait. What did you just call?
What did I say?
Not you,
Oh.
him.
If it means I can go help a lady in waiting, then I suppose it's alright.
Okay,
Oh,
so...
before I try to hit you again.
Yeah, he's gonna go up and check the noise.
Okay. Before you can go up, wait, okay, when you entered the door, you shut the door behind you. The walker may have been... Okay, so, you hear somebody coming down the stairs while you're deciding what to do, but, because the door to this room is closed. But then, you hear fumbling at the latch, and you see, the language here is it's called purple prose for a reason. It says, I heard a fumbling at the latch and saw the paneled portal swing open again. Paneled portal to say a door.
Huh.
In the doorway stood a person of such singular appearance that I should have exclaimed aloud, but for the restraints of... I won't read that part. Okay, old, white, bearded, and ragged, my host possessed a countenance and physique which inspired equal wonder and respect. His height could not have been less than 6 feet, and despite a general air of age and poverty, he was stout and powerful in proportion. His face, almost hidden by a long beard which grew high on his cheeks, seemed abnormally ruddy and less wrinkled than one might expect. With over a high forehead fell a shock of white hair, little thinned by the years. His blue eyes, though a trifle bloodshot, seemed inexplicably keen and burning. But from his horrible unkemptness, the man would have been as disgusting looking as he was impressive. The unkemptness, however, made him offensive despite his face and figure. Of what his clothing consisted, I could hardly tell, for it seemed to me no more than a mass of tatters surmounting a pair of high, heavy boots, and his lack of cleanliness surpassed description. The appearance of this man and the instinctive fear he inspired prepared me for something like enmity, as soon as so that I almost shuddered through surprise and a sense of uncanny incongruity when he motioned me to a chair and addressed me with within a thin, weak voice full of fawning respect and ingratiating hospitality. His speech was very curious. Or then he has like a weird accent, but so this tall ass old man is staring at you, and he motions for you guys to sit at the table.
Howdy.
Well, I'll be. You sure are a queer looking folk, aren't you?
Oh god.
Oh boy. Are you even allowed to say that on Twitch?
I feel like you can say the word queer in this context, because he actually uses the word queer like a couple times to refer as like weird.
It's a term term that's used for weird back in the day, much like gay is a term for happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just don't want, Xenon to be canceled.
On what?
But,
You're allowed to say the word queer,
Okay.
as long as you're not being disparaging towards queer people.
All right.
She said it again. Oh my god.
It's not like I used the F word, jeez.
I almost did.
Oh god.
We're not smoking cigarettes in here, guys, so let's continue on.
Or
Wait,
we don't
we're
have a
not
bundle of sticks.
We're not supposed to?
You ought not be.
Oh well shit.
Okay, Hitched in the rain be ye, he greeted. That ye was, nigh the house and had in sense to come right in. I calculate I was asleep, else I'd heard ye. I ain't as young as I used to be, and I need a powerful sight of naps nowadays. Traveling for I hadn't seen many folks long this road since they took off the Arkham stage. That's how he actually talks.
Xenon, you sound like you're having a stroke.
Yeah, Xenon, do you want me to read it for you? I could do a southern accent for you.
This is the 100-year-old book, or not? It might be a 100-year-old book. I don't know.
I mean, I honestly could read it.
I'll take a picture, I guess, because I can't it would take too long to find a PDF and find this page.
It is completely fine.
Just for you to see how this dude talks.
That's fine. Just send it.
Gotta get the southern accent out.
Just note, I'll be offended.
I don't. You think I give a damn?
Oh god.
Wrong accent.
It's gotta be a country New York accent.
Just trying, Xenon. Try it. Already made my head hurt. Please don't.
I'm sitting here like, what do we sound like that, Silver?
I don't think we do.
Y'all definitely do.
They starting with caught in the rain. Catched in the rain be ye. Once it
Wait,
loads.
I thought you were sending it out. Oh, there we are.
Oh, you sent it in player chat.
Yeah.
Bitch, you act like I could fucking see that.
I took a pretty good damn picture.
Wait,
it's legible.
Hold on. I can get past this. I can get past.
You just the bottom. It's in the bottom. It's like the catched in the rain be ye, the quote part. That's what I was focusing.
See, young sir. New faces in the source around here.
What?
I can't even see that because of the fucking crack. I can't. No,
I'm just showing you how it looks. It's fine. You don't need to read it. It was the first paragraph above that anyway.
He greeted, glad he was nigh the house. What is the word after that?
That's what I'm saying.
It ends there. That's like it's house and had the sense to come right in.
He need the sense to come right in.
I calculate I was asleep, else I'd be heard ya. I'd have heard ya. Oh my god, we don't sound like this!
Oh, he's specifically from revolutionary times.
Ain't as young as I used to be, and I need a powerful naps nowadays.
I'm showing you that one page to say
Grab
why
some
it's gonna be
fur.
the way it
Definitely
is.
sound like it.
I hain't seed many folks along this road since they took off the Arkham stage.
Sounds like slower and slower you're about to become racist.
He's white.
He is.
You're about to say the hard R.
Oh, I'm not gonna send you the
Pathetic.
picture where he does, but
Oh boy.
yeah, that's why I
We
changed the
don't talk
story.
like this, though.
Don't worry, y'all. I can speak this man's language.
We don't talk like this.
Not anymore, you don't.
That see, oh my god, no. Technically, we do. The more I read it, the more I'm just like, I hate this.
I mean, this is also what Lovecraft thought country people sounded like, and he wasn't a great guy, so...
Well, I mean, I reckon he wasn't.
You reckon he wasn't? I reckon that as well.
Catched in the reindeer. Okay. Yeah, no, I understand what it's saying. I hate
Yeah,
it.
it's mind. Oh God, it's a mind-melting little story. What was it? I read it one day when I was like waiting for my mom to finish gambling at the casino. So I read it in the casino waiting for my mom.
So you read a racist book at a casino.
Literally, basically, he's asking, did you get caught up? He states, did you get caught up in the rain? Yeah? Glad you had the sense to come inside. I calculated I was asleep when you knocked, or else I would have heard you.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Yeah, but so that's just a sample of what he sounds like in this original Lovecraft
don't like
story.
it.
Yeah, I don't like that part either. The part I like is the opening narration about like
It's
describing the woods or whatever.
Like, I want to say that we don't sound like this, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm just like, God.
Yeah, god damn it, you actually do sound like that.
Shut up! Only me and Psycho can say this shit about us.
Yeah, I can barely say that.
I did my 5 years in the country.
5 years in the country. How well did that well out just now? How well did
I
that
love
go?
this. I love how Xenon's treating it like it's a prison sentence.
It made me appreciate living in the suburbs. I'll say that.
I did my time. I was out in the country.
It made me appreciate living in the suburbs.
Y'all have no idea how much I get asked, are you from Texas? Just for the fact I say y'all.
Y'all. Y'all's not even that, like, everyone kind of uses y'all, I feel like.
I say
Y'all is-
y'all.
For some reason, everyone associates it with Texas.
Well, it's that or just any southern or midwestern state.
I feel like y'all has become part of, like, this normal, like, speech, though. It's, like, part of, like, the evolution of, like, language that it's becoming more and more, like, normal, I feel like.
I wish.
I hear it. I feel like it's a common word.
Yeah, it depends on where you
Is-
live.
A lot of people say y'all, like me.
Like, it's a good little, like, gender neutral, instead of saying guys or whatever.
It's like right there with they and them.
Yeah.
Can we not add phrasing to these words? Just leave it alone.
Okay,
Can you sleep in the wall?
so the guy, he has you sit down and he talks to you for a bit, asks you about, like, where you all came from and shit.
Interesting conversation.
We came from the slums.
Library.
Okay,
That's two different answers.
Well, we came from the library. We came from the slums.
I see. You gonna ask him anything, or like where he got this book from a fantasy world?
I'm more scared of why he has the books. And if we ask him why he has the book, in all fairness, we just came from a library.
That's part of the horror of this little short story, is when you ask him why
Wait.
he has the book.
Wait, is the book the object we're supposed to take?
Yeah, the title matches
Yeah.
the one you're here for.
Oh, I would probably just ask him if, for the fact that she did state that she came from the library, she would probably point interest at the book and asked if she could borrow it.
Oh, that fantasy-like book? Captain Ebenezer Holt traded me in 68. Him as was killed in the war. Maybe...
He was killed in the war.
Oh, yeah, he was killed in the war. Him as was killed in the war. Somebody roll history. For this.
Sure.
How about we all try?
Yeah, just roll history. Roll history for this.
Just so that, because my history's bad.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I should have planned where I put my points a little better, but I didn't.
My history's bad.
Yeah, we're not.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
cowboy,
guys.
let's...
I hate to tell you this, but mine's worse.
How'd you get a 5? Okay. Well, it just means you don't get the skill improvement. The blue window pops up and it says, okay, so I'll read what the narration actually says. I had encountered in my genealogical work, but, or the name, but not in any records since the Revolution. I wondered if my host could help me with the task at which I was laboring, and resolved to ask him about it later on as he continued. So it's, so a window pops up and says, Ebenezer Holtz from the Revolutionary War. You're in the 1900s. It's 1920.
The thing is he, Jebediah should know this since it's his time period.
Or after being reminded by the window, you kind of feel like maybe you've heard it as a Revolutionary War hero. You don't know though.
What
It's like it
war
sounds
were
familiar,
you?
but
What war are you talking about?
The war?
Which
war?
The war?
Are you talking about the
Steven-
revolutionary, the pig, the
Black Death War.
You're in America for one.
I thought you said we were in England.
New England is in America.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Shino currently
Sorry,
lives in New England. We went over this before.
Right, my brain's not registering right now.
New
Or no.
England? I thought he was in New York.
New England is all of like that region. Or is it a state? I thought it was the region.
New England's a state.
Oh, it's a state. Okay, never mind.
Or
He
I
lives,
guess it's
or is it the
a state,
region?
technically.
Isn't it the region?
Christ.
Because New Hampshire's the state. Is a state.
It's a region, so
It's a region.
technically yes.
Okay. Because the position just says somewhere in New England.
But they haven't called
It's
that
always
New
been
England since
called New
1700.
England.
What are you talking about? I'm just giving you shit.
All of Lovecraft's works are like centered in New England and is referred to as New England in the 1900s and in current times.
I think we're hurting her.
It's
Okay.
working.
Okay. Upon asking about Ebenezer, or no, he's just still talking about Ebenezer rather than asking. Ebenezer was on a Salem merchantman for years and picked up a sight of weird stuff in every port. He got this in London, I guess. He used to like to buy things at the shops. I was up to his house once on the hill, trading hosses. What is that? Wait, trading hosses. What is that? Wait. How do you trade a hoss? What is a hoss in this context? Hosses?
How is it spelled again?
He's trading HOSSES, but though the word doesn't come up. Well, instead, I get a.
It's in an accent, so trading houses.
Yeah, but what is he trading?
Houses.
Houses? Oh, were they just trading houses?
Yeah.
Either that or horses, because
Oh, it's horses. It's gotta be horses, I feel like.
The slang
that
makes
is
it
something
where
else.
the slang makes it a little bit
Yeah.
weird.
Haas says, when I see this book, I relish the pictures, so he give it to me on a swap. Tis a weird book. Here, let me get my spectacles. As he pulls among his rags, he produces a pair of dirty and amazingly antique glasses, which with small octagonal lenses and still bows. Donning these, he reaches for the volume on the table and turns the pages lovingly. Ebenezer could read a little of this Latin, but I can't. I had two or three schoolmates read me a bit, and Hash and Clark, him, they say, got drowned in the pond. Can you make anything out of it? And then he shows the book right now, and he's like, weird how the pictures kind of set, as you're like flipping through, he opens up on the page that is the butchery scene of like the Green Man butchering like humans. Weird how the pictures kind of set a body thinking. Take this on here near the front. Have you ever seen? Oh no, he's just trees like that flopping up and down. Skipping that bit. I'm skipping that bit because that's about like the original book, and I'm not gonna read any of those words.
You remind me of like a history teacher trying to read through all the pages that probably shouldn't be read to children. We're gonna skip over that part and that part. We're definitely not reading that part.
Why do you even have these books? Like,
no,
honestly,
it's an anthology book of H.P. Lovecraft's Tales of Horror.
Mm-hmm.
I've shown it before. It's the big like book with the octopus on the cover. I bought it at Costco.
Of course you did.
That's why.
I bought, well, because it's like a Reader's Digest type of book or whatever, like, you know, those old Reader's Digest, like, with the fancy covers that are, like, hard covers that look like old books.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of thing. So Costco has a bunch of these, like, open source isn't the word, public domain, republished books of this, like, of this set of books or whatever, and so all the covers look nice together because they're all the same type of cover, and so they look real nice on the shelf, and they're all, like, different little things. One is Edgar Allan Poe, one is Lovecraft, one is The Art of War, one is mythology, and the other is not Arabian Nights, what is it, the thousand, or whatever the, like, original Arabian Nights story is. I think it might be the Arabian
Nights.
Arabian Nights. Okay, Arabian Nights. One is Arabian Nights. That's like the set of books. So that's why I have this physical book. And it is this story in particular is a Lovecraft story.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So he just wants to grab the book and go. It's rude.
Well, he's at the main page he wanted to show now. But now I'll show you the best and over here in the middle. His speech grew a trifle thicker and his eyes assumed a brighter glow. But his fumbling hands, though seemingly clumsier than before, were entirely adequate to their mission. As the book fell open almost on its own accord, and as if from frequent consultation at this place, to the repellent 12th plate, showing the butcher's shop amongst the pictures. Okay. What do you think of this? Ain't never seen anything hereabouts, huh? When I see this, I tell Eb Holt, that's something that stir ye up and make ye blood tickle. When I read and scripter about slaying like them, I kind of think things, but I ain't got no picture of it. A lot to read and hard to I suppose 'tis sinful, but ain't we all born and live in sin? That feller been chopping up gives me a tickle every time I look at him. I have to keep looking at him. See what the butcher cut off his feet? That's his head on the bench, with one arm side of it and the other arm on the grounded side of the meat block. As the man mumbled on his shocking ecstasy, the expression on his hairy spectacled face becomes indescribable, but his voice sank rather than mounted. My own sensations can scarcely be recorded. All the terror I had dimly felt before rushed upon me actively and vividly, and I knew that I loathed the ancient and abhorrent creature, so near me with an infinite intensity. His madness, or at least his partial perversion, seemed beyond dispute. He was almost whispering now, with a huskiness more terrible than a scream, and I trembled as I listened. As I says, it's weird how the picture set you thinking. Did you know, young sir? I'm right sort on this here. After I got this book off Eb, I used to look at it a lot, especially when I heard Passion Clark rant on Sundays in his big wig. Ain't there something funny here, young sir? Don't you get grit? All I done was to look at the picture of. Okay, so he goes on and on about the how much he likes this picture. It makes you wonder why he's doing it. What does he get from it? Do you think if somebody were to do such a thing, they'd live longer? That's what I think. That's how he kind of ends what he's saying. And he talks about how he practiced the techniques he saw on like a sheep before, and he wonders what it would be like to use it on do it to a person. But he ain't know nothing about that.
I mean, if he just wants the picture, one of us could try recreating it for him.
Okay, well, you talk to him about that. Give me a listen.
From all of us?
Yeah, from all of you.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's rednecks.
We're all hard hearing today, boys.
You're all hard hearing today. All three of you roll me a luck then. That's how I'll determine who gets the information first.
I ain't get
Are
shit.
you kidding me?
I ain't get shit.
Lowest
Mason.
luck here.
Mason,
I succeeded.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not a lucky thing to find out.
Oh no.
As you're,
the worse you fail, the worse off you are.
As you're, listening to him go on and on about how much he loves this picture, and how he thinks and wonders what it'd be like to do such acts himself, you know the rain is still going pretty hard outside, and you think, oh wow, the roof must be leaky, because you feel water hit the top of your head. When you came inside, did you take off your hat?
No.
No. Okay. Then it's on your shoulder. Then you and you can feel the water dripping on top of your hat, and on your shoulders.
I would
stuff.
assume that I can actually hear it dripping down.
Yeah, you hear the water splat down and hit the top of your hat.
The fuck?
Do you look up?
Yeah.
You look up, and you remember. Wait, this is a two-story building. Why would the roof be leaking here? As you look up, a large red stain is on the ceiling, dripping red liquid down onto you.
Oh. Oh. Fucking gross. I actually, what I do is I take it off my hat with my index finger and thumb and rub it against each other to see if it's thick.
Oh, it certainly is thick. Sanity. Unless do you want to roll intelligence first or just sanity?
I would assume that the first room he would know that is blood, so it shouldn't be a sanity.
Okay, you're fine with blood. Okay, I'll be nice and not have it be sanity for that.
Okay.
What's Psycho saying?
I hope you know, I kind of forgot. that this was a Call of Cthulhu game until you mentioned that.
What did you think we were doing? Was I just sitting here reading you Lovecraft?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was sitting here like, man, this is a weird D&D game. I forgot about all these rules. Oh wait, there's horror. Oh shit, there's blood.
Oh shit, there's sanity rolls. No, he wouldn't know what it is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, so you know this is blood.
I will tell this to the man, like, you know that there's blood dripping on your ceiling.
Oh my, it sure. Oh, it sure is methy up in that floor, ain't it? You want to come see what I got cooking upstairs?
Jebediah. Jebediah.
Why is it always me?
I want you to hold him at gunpoint.
But he's a nice old man. Why would we want to do that?
Put him at gunpoint now.
Aye, let's not get too testy, my here friends.
Honestly, I think it's better to just go ahead and take the book, apologize to the man, and leave.
Won't you stay for dinner, my friends?
No.
We ate before we came.
Okay, and then while you're talking about this, everybody roll listen.
Again?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
All right.
I don't.
For a different
I don't
thing.
hear shit.
I don't hear shit either.
Somehow you
That's
don't hear the
right.
loud ass tearing in the corner of the room.
Can we do a luck again?
What?
Can we do a luck again to see if we can hear it?
Look. Nah, because unless luck would be whether or not you feel it
Oh,
again.
okay.
I'll say
Like I
since
said,
Feel it.
Jebediah was
Go ahead and grab the
the second lowest. Yeah, you've got the book. You're starting to make your getaway. Since Jebediah got the second lowest luck on the one earlier, I'll have Jebediah be the recipient of this. You don't hear the tearing. You do feel something slimy on the back of your neck. And at first you think, oh, it must just be Dr. Huger and his darn leeches. But then you remember, wait, Dr. Huger's not with us. Fuck, that's not Huger's leech.
He turns around slowly.
You're face to face with good old Spot.
just the whole thought process of I thought I killed you.
Well, so he's still got the scar on his eye, but there's no the one eye that was scarred before. But there's seems to be no injuries or anything like wrong with the Spot.
Maya's gone.
I guess roll me a dodge.
Who?
Psycho or Jebediah rolled whatever for dodge.
Aw.
Okay, I'll roll dodge.
Yeah, roll dodge.
Please, please. Look at that!
Okay, you dodged just in time for like it to like land right where you were standing. Mandibles in the ground.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, because I said it, because it's got a long like leech eel like slimy tentacle tongue, and it's got like trapjaw ant mandibles. And its mandibles are in the ground where Jebediah was standing.
Yep, we're gonna say fuck that and try to shoot it.
You're gonna try to shoot it? Okay.
Second time's the charm. Fuck.
And you miss.
Caught me off guard.
As it's starting to rear up, making direct eye contact with Jebediah.
Yeah, Jebediah, I think it's time for us to go.
And then you all
It's
can
like
I
even
run.
the girl's already left.
Yeah, Amelia's already out.
Yeah,
Yep, I
Jebediah,
agree, we're
let's
leaving.
get the fuck out of here.
We're leaving.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Let's figure out how chase works now. Okay, so let's do our first actual rules chase. Let me open up the chase page.
Ooh, wait, who's chasing us?
Spot is. The guy is just like knocked on his ass by Spot or whatever as like he tears out after you.
That's fine.
Okay. 5 sets of setting up a chase, place the pursuer, place the fleeing character, position hazards and barriers,
Amelia's
allocate
far
each.
ahead right now.
Yeah. Dex order. Okay, dex order. So yeah, so Amelia is like 1 space ahead. I'll have it be a 5 space run or 5 space
I feel like Jebediah would be the last one.
dex.
I would agree, actually.
What's everybody's dex? Why does he have
80.
such low dex?
I have 60.
I have 60.
I have
Okay, yeah, you're all have higher dex than Spot. Position hazards and barriers. Allocate each participant movement. Determine dex order. Okay, so oh, I think I have to do a count or like a what is it called? A turn order thingy for this. Wait. Okay. Trying to add turns. Let me add you guys some turns.
Oh,
Oh, Elaine's still there. I'll get rid of Elaine and replace it with Spot. Okay, and then put your dex there.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, can I not edit? Okay, I just have to add. Add Spot.
It's not letting me.
Or just write your dex in.
I tried.
Is the token not? Can you move your own token?
Yeah, I can move
Okay,
my
I don't know.
token.
Click
That's
on your
strange.
token and then go into combat and press the dexterity button. In the turn tracker. Go into your character sheet. There's a section called combat right next to skills. You click on your token and then you click the dexterity where it says dexterity right next to dodge.
Okay,
There you go.
thank you.
Yes.
Spot's 50. Okay. Okay. So then, what is? So you guys are on bike. Alright, so you guys grabbed the bikes as you were leaving, assumably?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So much
If it's the fastest way of transportation.
Yeah. Let me see what is actual for bike, because it does say, it doesn't, it shows a picture of somebody on a bike, but I don't think it, says what, skill for bike. What skill, or which, stat do you think would be good for, bike?
Like,
Dexterity.
Dex, okay.
No, it actually.
we wrote it down as we put it down as a drive auto.
Or, that
But
was
if it's-
earlier, yeah.
So if you wanted to do it by that, that would be it. But if not, I would say dexterity would be the flat.
Yeah, just flat dexterity, I think. Okay. So you guys are driving away on your bikes. So step 1 of a chase is setting it up. Place the pursuer, fleeing characters, position hazards in the barrier, allocate participant number, movement actions, determine dex order. What is the movement number? Movement actions. Each character gets a number of movement actions per round. Movement actions are used to move from one location to the next. Faster characters get more movement actions each round than slower characters. Every character and vehicle gets 1 movement action by default. To this is added the difference between their move rating, move, and the movement rating of the slowest participant. Do you guys have your move rating down, or do we have to calculate move?
We would have to calculate.
It has to do with size, I think. What is it?
I have movement rate.
Oh, you have your movement rate down?
Yeah, it's 8.
8.
I don't remember.
Do you remember how we calculate that, or do I have to like find that?
I don't think. I think the game calculates it for you because if you go into
mine's
combat,
9.
Okay.
I think it goes into an ability going into dexterity.
Okay.
I could be wrong though.
I think you're able to adjust over speed, but we'll just use your move. What section's it under? Direct Shino to move?
Combat.
Combat. Okay.
Yeah, under combat.
Does he have a move?
I
He
don't
does have
think
a
I
move
have a
6.
I do.
Or I mean, Spot has a move. I mean, is what I was checking. I was checking Spot's move.
Oh, I have a movement rate of 9.
You have a movement rate of 9.
Add any weapons.
How is it that Spot's supposed to be like fast? Why is his movement 6? Never mind. I think it's because Spot can fly. I think is why. Because it says flying speed of 20.
Oh, what the?
But how does he fly? Fighting attack? It doesn't say. It just says he can know spells. So maybe if he has a fly spell or something, maybe then his speed is 20. I don't know. But for this case, I'll give him 6. Okay. So you guys are riding your bikes. Amelia is at the front of the pack. Let me get the. Okay, so Amelia's at the front. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I have to like organize it. Okay, that's the issue. Ascending, descending. Oh, descending. Okay. Then there we go. Okay. Oh, but no. Okay, that's wrong. Still. Ascending. Descending is what I want. Okay. There we go. Found it. Okay. So Amelia's at the front on the bike. I'll say you're two further than everybody else. I should get the pencil to write down some numbers. Where's my pencil at? Or I don't know, I should get a pencil. There it is. Okay. +2. Okay, so you're 2 ahead of everybody else. Everybody else is at 0. Okay, so are you gonna just ride your bike for all your movement?
Me?
Yeah. Okay. What was your movement again?
9.
9. Okay, so now you're. Let's see, it's 9. So now you're at 11 distance. Okay. I'll say it's move up till 11. Okay, you guys. What do you guys do?
Haul ass.
You haul ass.
Yep.
Okay. What's your guys' max?
Mine's a 9.
Okay.
Mine's 8.
I'm curious what it's based off of. If she knows Dex is lower than mine, but we both have the same movement.
Size maybe? I think it has to do with size and strength.
What's
I
your
forget.
size?
I
My
don't
size
know.
my size is 50.
My size is 40. I'm short.
Gino?
My size?
Yeah.
Where would I go to look for that?
It's on the top.
Size.
It's at the top, right under
50.
gender.
My size is 50.
Maybe he's got a better like dexterity score then.
But no, his
No,
dexterity
less
is
is
less. Maybe
His
it's on
dexterity is
strength.
What's your strength?
My strength is 60. But my intelligence is at 80.
My
What?
intelligence is 50.
Okay, so it might be like strength, size, and dex all like averaged together in some way to get your movement.
I don't know.
Okay, okay, and then so Spot is at 6.
Probably no, it might be size and power.
Maybe. Oh no, power is willpower. That's a mental stat.
My power's at 50.
Mine's at 6.
Move rate is based on
Oh.
someone's dex and strength that are compared to their size. If both their strength and dex are less than their size, then the move rate is 7. If either dex or strength are equal to or greater than size, then it's 8. If both dex and strength are greater than size, then it's 9.
Okay, so that's how that works then. Okay. And I guess that's why Spot is like so slow, because his dex is low.
Yes.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Spot's con is 150.
That makes a little bit less sense.
You got a crit on him with that fucking gun. You one-shotted him earlier.
And I will still bitch.
I mean, you killed him. Spot is dead. Or Spot is dead in that timeline or whatever.
I will not change my statement. I will still bitch.
I mean, you've killed him. Spot is dead. Spot is destined to die.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm giving you shit now.
How far are we out from the library?
Um,
On bikes?
a bit of a distance, I'll say. Like, it's a bit of a distance. We'll see how things go for, like, dramatics' sake. So everybody took their first round. Nothing was in your way on the first round, but now, I'll say because it's raining and the wind.
Not you.
What?
Not you,
Okay.
cat.
Okay, then you're,
It's not time for food yet. No, it's not
the,
Sit
happened
down.
to Chase? Where'd it go?
What? It's not time for food.
Then you're, in your way on the road is a fallen tree.
Hey.
So you gotta get off your bike and, like, lift it over the fallen, tree, I think.
Is there a ramp nearby?
Is there any way around it, under it, like anything?
Yeah, so I'm checking how you're supposed to treat these chases.
Because
Can I rap with style?
parkour! Like, is there a way around the tree? Like, just go off-road and get back on the road?
Simple. One's a tree. Says, like, climb skill.
Ow! Hey, give me my hand, stop pulling me.
So I guess climb skill to, like, easily get over the
I don't have good climb, that's why I'm asking if there's any other way.
I mean,
without
it will cost you maybe 2 movement to go around. And
Okay, at
1
a
movement to go
movement,
over.
That's not bad. I'm going
Fuck
around
that,
because
I'm gonna try to climb it.
I'm gonna try to ramp it.
No, do y'all want to see why I don't want to climb? Oh, never mind, I'll climb.
You
Never
climb.
mind,
Okay,
you're
you
fine.
climb over. So you
climb.
only lose 1 movement.
But I
To
had
the-
a 20, so
Yeah, to the block. You only lose 1 movement.
that's fine. 8 movement forward. Go, go,
Okay,
go.
movement forward.
My cat's being aggressive. You're being so aggressive.
Okay, 8 movement forward for Amelia. But so Mason, also, he just, like, rides at it real fast. So
You
roll
want-
Yeah,
dex.
I'll ramp
He
it.
wants to ramp it.
Roll dex
So my-
then.
Okay. I'm
Okay, you
fucking
ramp
ramping
it. Okay, so
that
I'll say you don't lose any movement to ramp it. Cause he like
Oh, was
you took 1 movement to climb. He fucking just went for it.
Yeah, I would have gone for it, but I was over here like, I'm gonna fucking... Knowing my luck, I'm gonna go wham!
1 over.
Oh, that shit looks cool. Let me try to do that.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
That was climb.
Oh yeah, I did.
Do it with your dex.
You
it
try
again.
your dex,
Sneeze.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Sneeze.
deck.
Dex 2.
Man, that shit was cool. Let me try that.
Speed.
Okay.
He goes wham!
Yeah, you fall over. I'll say this was at 11 where this happened. So that's 3, and then you fell. So you moved 3 and then fell. You're on the ground prone.
Oh no, jump back.
And 6 up
He's been
from.
so good at everything else. And now when it matters, he fails.
And Spot is upon you.
Oh no.
Hey, no hard feelings from the last time, right?
Roll dodge.
Please, please. Lord, heaven, baby Jesus, I need your help.
Hey!
Oh my god!
Okay, I'll say that's good enough. I won't roll for his thing yet. Because he's still got his eye is bad.
his eye is
Well,
so
he
bad.
had, or well, the scar die that
How
he
does
had
it mark
before.
a double on dodge.
What?
Or is it just the first one?
You
It's
only
just the
mark
first
one,
one.
yeah. You only mark one. You only get one per session.
Okay.
Like one improvement per stat. You can,
You know, I just thought about something.
What?
To jump over a tree on a bike, wouldn't it have been jump instead of dex?
or he is there a jump skill?
There is.
Oh, there is. But he was on the bike, so it was like maneuvering the bike to jump. And getting like the right speed, hitting the right bump on the road to like.
Stop giving Xenon ammunition.
Never.
Okay,
You'll be like the snake.
so
solo.
Spot is upon you. But so yeah, he ends his turn like trying to attack you and you dodge. Okay. It's Amelia's turn. I'll say you've made so you keep going on your bike. Roll me luck and then we'll go from there. Okay, there's a big puddle, roll dex.
That should be deep.
Okay, you fall off your bike.
Please tell me I at least land outside of the puddle.
Yeah, you like you skid with the bike and you land outside of the puddle.
Oh, thank God, because I have the book. That would have been
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, so you land outside the puddle, but you've fallen off the bike. I'll say, let me mark. I'll mark you 3 movement forward.
Okay. And does it take a movement to get up?
Or just this turn of movement. That's as far as you get was like 3. Maybe 4. I might have marked 4. However far I marked you is how far you got.
I don't
Okay.
know how far you marked me.
Well, I'm using like tallies. I've just got like tallies or whatever to mark how far you guys have moved. And you're
I swear to God, if Shino
1, 2, 3,
ends
4.
up
You're 20.
tapping me, I'm tossing him the damn book.
You're 23 right now, and Shino's at 18. But so now it's Shino's movement. Roll luck.
Okay.
He can have the book.
Okay. Let's see.
Amelia
So you
will
move
hold
your
the book
you
up
move your
for him.
full thing, which is 1 past Amelia is your full. I think, or did I mark that right? Or no, even further than that. You were there. That's 2. Get across 1 there. And then so okay, yeah, you are about like maybe even what is that? What would that be? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 25, 27. You're at 27. Amelia's at 23. So yeah, you're like 4 spaces ahead of Amelia now.
I would have held the book up if I saw him coming.
Yeah, so as you go by, you grab the book and you're further ahead than Amelia. And you can see the library in the distance. Okay, so Jebediah, it's getting up. Was there a score, or was there a roll to get up, or you can just get up? I think it just cost you a movement.
I think you just get up, but
Okay.
I don't know this game enough to.
Oh, I'm also kind of loosely gooseing the chase because it's supposed to be chases are supposed to be in car. Okay. So yeah. I'll say 1 movement to stand up, and then 1 movement to attempt to climb again.
Or
1 move in the stand up and what to try to get up and climb again.
Either 1 to get up and climb, or 2 to walk around the tree.
take the bike around and continue.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on the bike and move.
Okay. So it cost you 3 to get up and move the bike around. Okay. What was your speed again?
My speed is a 8.
8. Okay, so it's 5 forward. Okay. And then Spot will take
Turn.
Yeah, Spot's turn. He has a 6. So
You try and get
1,
up the
2, 3, 4, 5. So at 5, he's upon you. Dodge again.
Oh, God.
Did he
Dodge.
Dear Lord.
Dodge.
Dear Lord.
What?
Shino.
Dodge?
Dodge. Dodge.
Dodge.
Okay, you dodge.
God.
And so now Spot is running beside you.
You're uglier up close. I swear, only a mother could love that.
Oh, I love
No
Spot
mother
so
loves
much. He's
No
such a
mother
good
loves
boy.
It's an amalgamation of an abomination.
Is this
No,
is this
have
you
to-
talking?
Yeah, or no, I don't think this is real life Xenon talking, not in-game Xenon. Real in-game Xenon has been maybe been going through the archives trying to figure out which one this is. So maybe by now you guys have received messages saying that's not one of ours.
I was really
unvague of who what one of who's what that even means. It just says that's not one of ours. There's no record of that number.
I'm sorry. I love the thought that you're in character. You're like, yes, Spot. I love my boy.
No, out of character. I'm saying yes, Spot. My good boy. I had this thought for Spot at 8 a.m. today, and I have a whole thing in my head about him, and I was like yes, this is how I'm gonna do this. I had a very Faye mood this morning. When I came up with the number, because I was thinking, okay, he's gonna have the number tag, and I wanted it to, I desperately wanted it to be the word Spot, so I that's why it's so contrived on the mirrored image of the number. Okay, so Spot's right next to you. It's Amelia's turn again.
I'm going to use movement to get up.
Okay.
So, since you said it's 1 to get up,
Yeah, 1 to get up.
and I'm hauling ass, 8 movement.
Okay, 8 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a
Basically,
2.
we're playing hot potato with the boat.
Yeah. 2. That's 2. Then I need 6 more.
Basically, whoever's in front needs to have the boat.
Which is
Oh.
either me or you at the moment.
These rounds are supposed to kind of happen simultaneously, so you're still 1 behind Mason. I'm not gonna roll for luck this time. You guys, you are right at the step of the library.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're right in front of the building, you're ready to start going into the building. Mason's turn, and you're gonna do anything, or you're just gonna book it still?
Still gonna book it.
Okay.
The fuck? We don't need to be here no more. We got
3,
We're working on bookkeeping here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so Mason got there just a smidge before you did, and he's already opened the door and gone into the building.
That's fine.
And then you go in right
right.
after him. Okay, Jebediah. Roll me luck for that puddle. And you avoid the puddle.
What puddle?
What puddle? God.
Okay, what was your movement again? 6?
8.
8, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Xenon's just
8.
gonna go. Xenon's just gonna make the assumption every time. What was it? 4? I'm sorry, 2?
No,
it's because Spot's is 6. That's why my brain did that. Okay, so then Spot, he goes, should I roll luck for Spot to see if he falls in the puddle? Does he even have... He doesn't even have luck. I'll roll a D100 for him, though. He doesn't even have a luck stat.
Give him 50.
No, I think he's pretty damn lucky.
Jesus Christ.
He jumps that and gains 1 movement on that jump. So now he moves 7. So he's still 1 behind Jebediah.
Can Jebediah, is there a way of me using movement and using my weapon at the same time?
How much balance do you think you got on that thing?
It will cost you a movement to fire your gun, because the movements are also your actions that you can take during the chase.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so
Alright.
you'll lose
Slow
one
him down.
movement and be neck and neck with him again. You'll have made no like gain of like ground on him.
But I'm hoping I can slow him down if I
Yeah.
shoot him. Alright. Come on, gods. Wish me luck.
No.
In fact, you lose. You shoot at him, and you slow down even a little bit, and so he's actually upon you again. Dodge.
Dodge, don't fail me now.
Okay, you dodge.
Look at that! I've never been so lucky in my fucking life.
He can't shoot, but he can dodge.
Okay, you guys already in the library. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Do you
Amelia's keeping an eye out for Jebediah.
Okay,
She
you're
may
looking
not
out the-
like him
the
much,
door?
But, well, yeah, she's debating on whether or not to try and help.
Yeah. I mean, he's a collaborative partner on this mission.
Yeah.
Is he really important?
I mean, he's the one guy who can kill things.
Apparently not now.
Apparently not now, which I'm glad it fits with what I want for Spot.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah, he's such a good boy.
No, I say Amelia would probably be waiting outside debating
Okay.
on her aim.
I'm going to
You
be
just-
returning the book.
Okay, you've entered the transportation chamber. Okay. Well, I think I briefly said it earlier, but the transportation chamber is similar to the elevator in that it's a round room. That's important. Just as a note, the transportation room is a round room. Most rooms in the library are round, except for the personal chambers, but it's deep enough into where that doesn't matter. Maybe the corners in the personal chambers could be like, we can pretend they're rounded. That will matter later. So Mason's in the transportation room. Amelia's waiting outside. Jebediah, your turn.
He's booking it.
Okay.
How far out is Jebediah? Can Amelia see him yet?
He's oh, let's see, after this turn. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that arriving? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is one space away, so he's like right in for. He's like approaching the door. As
I see Spot like clearly without anything in the way.
Spot is two spaces behind Jebediah.
You could be a dick. You know how you could be a dick? As soon
Close
as
the
you
door.
get close, yep, you just close the door. You don't let
No.
Jebediah in.
No, Amelia's standing outside of the place. She has the door open.
Okay, so yeah, Jebediah has arrived in front of you. Spot is like down the road.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Oh, that failed.
You shoot at Spot. Okay, Jebediah's turn.
She's going to pick up Amelia and just run in.
Oh, you're gonna drag her in. Are you
Like-
gonna contest him picking you up?
She'll be fairly confused about it.
Okay, strength check to see if you can lift her.
Oh god. Hey god.
I mean, he could probably
Wanna
like
give me-
tackle her in.
No, he's gonna try to like very much pick you up.
Oh, well, I mean, she's.
You
small.
definitely don't
Short.
have. Okay, I was gonna say you definitely don't have like advantage or disadvantage because it's Rainy, but she's small. Yeah, you pick her up. You lift her up and get her inside.
Can I try shooting Spot one more time? While
Yeah, sure. You can try
she's-
shooting at Spot one more time. Okay.
No.
You're like over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I obviously look at that roll.
Okay. You get in. Close the door. Spot slams against the door. What is Spot's strength? Spot's strength is 80.
No, fuck.
Okay, so he slams at the door. You guys are 2 spaces ahead of him still. You're going towards the door. Spot is in this, like, smaller library, chasing after you, knocking over shit, being clumsy.
I would still try to attempt to shoot at him, just to try and slow him down.
Okay,
I
one
can't
last...
do anything else while being held.
Yeah, one last shot at Spot, then.
Nope.
Okay, Jebediah, do you go into the room? Transportation room? Okay. You go into the transportation room, slam the door behind you. You hear a bang against the door as, like, the wall shakes. But you've made it, you're in the transportation room, you're safe.
Jebediah has not let you down yet.
I didn't do it properly about rolling sanity for seeing Spot, though. I guess maybe now that it's sunk in, like, before it was so quick with him, like, dying and being shot that you didn't have a chance to fear him yet, but all of you, what is the sanity for Spot? Every time you see something unreal, you're supposed to roll sanity. I just forget half the time.
So 2 sanity rolls.
Or just, you guys can just do 1. Where is... Does it not say how much he's worth?
Shit.
Maybe you're just supposed to, like...
I think I'm pretty okay with Spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll sanity too.
Yeah, now that it's set in, whatever the hell that was, it's, like, setting in.
Amelia's the only one okay with Spot.
I'll say you guys just take 2 each, for seeing Spot.
Owie.
I got an extreme success, though.
No, I meant not Amelia. Amelia's fine.
Oh.
Sorry, I meant...
Did I pay his handy back? Joking.
No, but you don't fear Spot.
Why would I fear him? The
What?
only one who should probably have a phobia of him is the only one who got hunted down.
Jebediah might actually have 3, actually. Jebediah has 3.
Minus 3 sanity, or?
Yeah. Cause he's like, you've had the most encounters with Spot. There's too many fucking angles. Let me actually try to find a picture I like of Spot. Now that you've seen
there's
him
a
better.
Spot picture?
Or I'm calling him Spot. That's this one individual's name. But let's see.
Wait, so does this mean that once the creature goes invisible, it becomes a spot hidden?
I mean, he doesn't go invisible, but he does, like, disappear. Like, if you open the door now, he'd be gone. But, I mean, it depends if... Well, if you take the book back out...
I actually understand something.
What?
Everywhere Spot's so far shown up has been squares. Does that mean that he can't get into the library because of the fact that it's all circled?
Yeah.
There's no corners to rip.
Yeah, specifically it's any angle over 180 degrees, but I'm kind of fudging it just for the sake of, like, how do you even measure angles?
You said over 180 degrees?
Or under, it's under, that's what it was. Any angle under, yeah, I mixed up words.
So that would literally be corners because they're each at roughly 90 degrees.
Yeah, any corner is how he gets in.
We have no corners.
Yeah. Oh, that's loud. Let me fix the volume. This
That
one's
is
louder.
loud.
I need the bathroom though.
Are you gonna go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead while I think of how to do the next one.
Psycho, if you need the bathroom, go now so we don't get the question of, can I go to the bathroom later?
Yeah, but that's my favorite question.
I know.
I was gonna ask if we could end session.
We can, I guess,
Oh.
yeah. If you really want.
I'm sorry, I'm just
It's
tired.
fine.
You're good.
You guys have earned, or I'll just say you guys get 1 coin for the work you did today, then.
1 coin.
1 coin each for
Wait,
the work you
both
did.
stories? For both stories?
Oh yeah, for both, like, because it was so short, because it was just grab a thing and go.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'll say you guys each earn
Whoa,
1.
we didn't earn this.
Shut up, yes we did.
That's the official cover, but I want a good picture of him. There was a minifig. Like,
I will be right back though.
Okay. yeah. We can do wrap up stuff. Where's? That's not the minifig I saw before. It's these ones. This isn't what the one in mine looks like, but I love this minifig. Mine's a little bit grosser looking than this one. Where's my player chat? Okay. Here's a figurine of the creature.
Ew.
Oh my god.
But this one is like less disgusting than the one that I described.
You know that fucking that TV show that was on Cartoon Network for a while where you had a number on the train?
Yeah. Or did they have something like that coming after them in that?
Well, it's these dog things that are basically trying to absorb their life force and everything. I'm getting similar vibes from that.
What are those called in that then?
I have no idea. I can't even remember what the show's called.
Infinity Train, one sec.
Yep, that's it.
Let's see. So I feel like that show they might even be. Let's see. What are they called? Oh no, those are called gomes or whatever. They have like,
yeah, gomes.
They're different. If anything, those are closer to cockroaches than what this is. I feel like. Let me see what they do. Let's see. What are they for?
I don't remember exactly all the details, but it went along the lines of they chase after people who are outside the train, and they absorb their life essence, I believe is what's
similar then perhaps. Oh, I'm wondering if maybe it's a mix of them and like this creature and cockroaches.
okay.
As these seem to be some, because like cockroaches aren't supposed to have like the dog thing, but so maybe they're not cockroaches. Because does the Infinity Train travel through time?
Technically,
Then it might be similar. Let's see.
Technically speaking, because they're all general time period, with the exception of the conductor, who is not from this time.
Oh, then maybe it's different then. Just doesn't say what. It just shows them. It doesn't. So they're somewhat similar, but not quite. Find a different picture of the spots thing though. Let's see. So I liked that, like that geometric spot quite a bit, but let's see if I can find a more like, because he's supposed to be like made of angles. Let's see. Where does it say?
Wait, is Spot an animatronic dog?
No, that's just one of the like versions of the creature. There's a lot of like weird because it's a dog in name only.
I'm surprised you didn't spot that.
Go to bed.
He doesn't have to. He needs to roll his improvements.
Oh shit, I do too.
Yep, let me roll my
Oh, I forgot.
Okay. So
I
this
forgot.
is like a different depiction of what Spot is, like about the angle thing.
Let me roll a d10 for that real quick.
Oh, is this one? Cards?
Ooh, I get a 9 for auto drive. Nice.
How do we do the whole?
Wait, what did you do? How did you get a 0?
I guess -1 because of bonus penalty.
What? Oh,
Fuck.
did you roll bonus and penalty dice? Is that how that hap worked?
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
happened.
just roll a d10, or treat that as a 10, or that's fine, yeah, 8. Because that 0 is actually the 10 on the d20 thing. I know you got a 1 before, but yeah. But yeah, you can have the 8 on that.
So we roll, and if we fail, we get to roll. And if we
Yeah, only if
succeed-
you fail.
Why is it now I pass it?
Yeah.
What the hell? I'm so... Oh, hey, hey. And it's a D10?
Yeah.
And then spot hidden.
Ha!
Okay,
You get 1.
shut up. It's better than none.
No, it wasn't 180. It's any angle less than 120. That's what it is.
Just read that, Psycho. I'm taking you out of the Siren and Xavier playlist.
Oh no! Please, I actually listened to that.
No, you're good. I wrote it.
I listened to that when I'm depressed.
Oh.
Okay,
I think
Oh, we
my
listen
cat
to it all the
went to
time.
bathroom. You said that you listen to it all the
what
time.
was the description of their...
Have you heard the songs that I added to it?
Recently?
Yeah.
Okay, you made it sound like, hey, if you listen to the songs I added to it, you know the music playlist.
Yeah.
I just
Have
got
you?
confused for a second.
Yeah, the ones I added to it are at the bottom.
I don't think I listened to those yet. I have it on offline mode, so I have to wait. So I guess I'll turn it back on.
Yeah. What's the last song on it for you?
Let me look.
Trying to figure out what... Because earlier I did read a description of what they look like, but I can't find it now. This is the Wikipedia page. Image. I like this one. So we're gonna stick to it's a bunch of angles with mandibles and a tongue, and it has eyes, but it's also covered in smoke. There's a different depiction of it. This is what Wikipedia has for it.
Yeah, songs to it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I love him
Scary,
so much.
but cool.
They actually, the thing, I haven't said the full name, but I'm not going to say the full name yet, but, they actually appear in, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint.
That's why you like him so much.
Well, it's the first place I had ever seen them was that. The guy who's, like, running from them, his, home, everything in his home is circles. Like his house is like his doorways are circles, his like rooms are circles, his bed is a circle. Doksha, the main character, wakes up in his bed. His circle bed. Not a yaoi, by the way, but
I have to specify this. It's not yaoi.
Hey, I just realized the playlist I made has had 1,412 views.
Nice.
there's a diagram somewhere about how they break in through the corner.
Still waiting on what the last song is for you, Psycho.
Oh, sorry. I was dozing off a little bit. It looks like it's dandelions.
Oh shit. Yeah, you have a lot. So, after dandelions, for me, there's If I Look Fine, Darkest Angel, Myself, Super Psycho Love, Poppy, Best at Being the Worst. Use
Silver,
Me
you
Up.
trying to tell me something?
No! Jesus Christ, no! Oh god. I literally only add songs to this list I think fit Siren and Xavier. Like, there's a lot of songs on here after fucking Dandelion.
Here's a good one of them coming through the corner.
That's super creepy, but at the same time super cool.
There's one where that shows it break, because, like, the mandibles, specifically, are to, like, break the corner open, and then the tongue, like, slips in, and that's how it gets into, like, space.
Here's the rest after... that I didn't name off.
But that being said, I am
Yeah.
going to go lay down.
Yes, go to bed.
Go lay
Have a
down.
good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
I actually should probably sleep when I need to be up.
Yeah, if you need to sleep, go to sleep. I was just trying to find the one image that I had of
I've actually been asleep all day.
Oh yeah, you slept earlier, huh?
I have to be up in 10 hours and 37 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, no, like, I woke up to it storming outside, and the rain fucks with my internet, like, to the point it makes it go out. It did that during work. Like, I tried going to work, and
Well, that does that.
and I could hear them just fine, but the caller on the other end stated they couldn't hear me. I sounded robotic. They weren't sure what was going on, and then they couldn't hear me anymore.
I finally found the diagram of it breaking into the corner.
Yeah, how would anyone miss that?
You guys got a bad roll, so you didn't hear it breaking through reality to get you.
Oh man, I'm blind as shit. I can't see it. Hmm.
So that is Spot.
Yeah, that's a good one of Spot. That's closer to, like, more more like animalistic though than that, but like something between that and the other ones.
I'm curious about what the hell it is.
I'll get there. I wanted this to be a little bit of a long burn of, like, he's gonna be reoccurring
Oh yeah,
for the book
obviously.
retrieval missions.
Yeah, and he only seems interested in the books, except for this time he went for Psycho.
Because Psycho shot at him first.
Fair enough.
And, well, retroactively now he was interested in Psycho that first time, though, too.
So Psycho got the attention of... Anyways, I'm gonna go
Okay.
ahead and head off here, though.
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, I gotta get some rest. I gotta do Terraria for
Okay.
stream, so I need to
Night,
relax.
guys.
Night.
I guess I'm
Night.
probably gonna go do dungeons with Soul.
Yeah, go do dungeons, you nerd.
Cause there's
Final Fantasy?
yeah, there's an event right now where you have to just redo dungeons over and over again to get the points, and it's like you need a lot of points, so.
That sucks. I wish that I could play it, but my computer won't handle it right now.
See you guys next time. Bye bye. Thanks for playing.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Let me switch over to main. And probably get a snack. Let's check on. Let's see. Let's see if Soul's in the call first. He's not in the call. Let me check on Soul's stream then. Before we oh, why is this not pausing? Okay, there. Okay, before we figure out what we're doing. If Soul's not doing Final Fantasy, then I'll do Honkai Star Rail. In fact, actually, I think I'm gonna cut this stream here, and then I'm gonna resume so this can be separate. One sec. Oh, wait, I gotta change the title first. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Wait. Let me figure out what I'm doing, and then I'll cut a new stream. Let's see. Let's check on souls. Or I can just, nobody's watching. I'm going to cut this here. See you all in the next stream. Bye. Nighty night, sleep tight, don't get bit tonight. Check out the next stream, which is your Honkai Star Rail or Final